Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 110th CAP update. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I've had a very busy day, but a lot of fun. It was a very interesting day. Lots of meetings, lots of work to be done. But I hope you guys have had a fantastic day. I see everybody in the chat. I'm missing out on saying good evening to you as well, David, Alex, Matt. I saw Mikhail in there. Ron Lim. Hey, kids. All right. Oh man, everybody's here. It's good night. So let me get at least the big question on everybody's mind, of course, was what was going on here last night. And I can't tell you what the heck was going on last night, right before we got to the recap with Anthony. But it definitely was the neighbor to the back of me. So the girls were up in the front of the house. They couldn't see anything going on. I'm texting them, where's that noise coming from? Well, it definitely was the neighbors to our to the rear of the house, so closer to me, which is why it sounded so loud. So I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were having lawnmower races, or God only knows what they were doing out there. But it was really insane. So and they were still doing it when I went out there after that. So that's how I knew where it was coming from. But Maureen and Gwen and the girls were not happy. They weren't going outside until I got to check things out. Not 5 acres away, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Believe it or not, the way our house, it's basically 2.5 acre lots together side by side, and our house is kind of in the center of one of those. And so we're not terribly far from the other property, say 70, 80 feet to the fence line, and then maybe another 100 feet to the next house. But they've got a 5 acre parcel set up the same way. So I don't know what they were doing. They were racing something over there, and it sounded like a battle going on. But I figured with all as loud as it was, it had to have been on the street, which is why I couldn't figure out why Maureen and Gwen couldn't see where it was going, because they have a clear view of the street and they couldn't see anything. So welcome to Florida, says Colin. Exactly. We even texted. We have a neighbor here that we've met, and they're they're older and kind of and definitely nicer. And Maureen had texted them like, what's going on? And they didn't answer till the morning. And they said, oh yeah, it's so and so. He does that every few months. So anyway, so the other burning question in everybody's mind was who won last night. And I can tell you that it was Anthony. Anthony was the victor. And I'm trying to find the final score from that. Where was that? Final score was Anthony at $15,200 and Mike had $14,000 and $300. So it was a $900 difference between the two. I do believe that Mike was, my realtor backs out of the room. Yeah, they didn't tell us about that part. But Mike did get a text inquiry about that Starlin piece, of course, after the show. And I don't know if it sold or not. But either way, I told the text he got was actually during the recap. It was right around at 11 or so, or maybe even a little bit before that. So I told him if he would accept it, he could be the winner. But, Mike was probably, I don't know what Mike was thinking. But at any rate, I don't think he accepted it, or at least I haven't talked to him today to find out if he did. So as far as I'm concerned, Anthony won last night. So put that one to bed. I think that at the end of the day, I think one of the sales was missing off of there when they were tallying things, and so we were able to kind of decipher everything by the time it was all over. So anyway, so Anthony gets another win. I think he's won, like, if I looked at it, I think he's won maybe 7 of the last 10, and I think out of the 15 he's won like 11 out of 15. So he's been putting it to Mike lately. The cheaper shows are definitely to Anthony's advantage, because we know he's Mr. Volume. So Alex says Mike Slater pieces were priced too high. How did that work out? Yeah, Mike only sold 1 of his last 4. Anthony sold 3 of his last 4. I mean, that always helps out a lot, right? But Mike sold all of his middle pieces, and Anthony only sold about half of those. So it all evens out at the end. But yep. Is what it is. Anthony, and thanks to Larry as well. Larry picked up a couple of those pieces that helped push Anthony over the top. Those were a couple of really good pickups, of course, by Larry. I liked those pages myself. So especially that last one, the Don Heck Amazing Adventures one with Black Widow on it. That was a good one. Anthony started out at 5 and went down to 4. So that was good. Dylan, yeah, I get you, Dylan, for Kirby money. Well, the word on the street is Dylan stuff is going up in value. I mean, I think, and it kind of bears out. I mean, if we've been paying attention to market data, but certainly not Kirby value yet. But it's getting there. So what have I had going on? Stuff going on today. We had some meetings with some outside vendors and stuff. Maureen and I are talking to some people about helping us with some programming. So we've got some interesting things that I can't really go over right now, but once we get closer to being able to get some work done, I'll let you know. But Maureen and I are, we had a good conversation with some people today, and I'm just looking forward to getting some help on stuff that's been nagging CAF for a very long time. So hopefully there's help on the horizon there. Also, I can show you this. This is everybody knows I do that. Well, many of you know I do that Infected by Art annual art competition, a lot like Spectrum. So I finally got the proof copy of that book in hand, and it's pretty awesome. Every year we get we run it's kind of a juried submission process, and I have nothing to do with which artworks get picked for it, but it's it's been a lot of fun. This is our 10th volume, and it gets debuted every year at the IX Art Show. And it's mostly traditional art. There are some digital painters that are in this as well, but a lot of Magic the Gathering and card artists use put their stuff in here. But a lot of other artists that I'm very fond of, like Bob Eggleton and Donato Giancoya. I mean, people who I've really admired for quite some time submit work to this and usually always get in, and it's always fun. Like this artist that's on here, I wasn't really familiar with her. Her name's Carly Milligan, traditional painter. She's in her 20s, so she's doing fantastic work, and I got to pick which image was the artwork for the cover for this year. So I was happy to help her out, and she got a lot of positive feedback on Facebook the last week since we made that announcement. But yeah, so no, not all digital. AI, is that an AI or all? No, there are no AI digital paintings in there. Although that is the talk of that group of painters too. People who are doing work in that field. They're all they're having a lot of interesting side conversations on AI art creation these days. But I don't think we're ever going to see that in our neck of the woods. But it is kind of interesting. It makes you want to experiment with it just to see what kind of art you can make by plugging in keywords into a program and art examples and seeing what the program will come up with. So there's that. I mean, but IBA, I think we're going to be kickstarting the pre-sales on that in about a month and a half. So, I always kind of let everybody know on CAF when we're working on that and when the sales are out there, because a few people out in the CAF world do collect that sort of work as well. So I was talking with Jason D'Ambrosia and I were having a chat for a while. We haven't talked in a long time, so I was kind of running into the show today, but I do have everything lined up. And Larry, I can see, is already in the green room. And if anybody read my little bit delayed late email today as far as the summary of what we're going to talk about, I've got Larry on to get things started for us today. We're going to talk about a few art pickups he's had of late. So Larry, I think you look ready. So I'm bringing you into the stream, my friend. Hey.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a minute since I've been on the show.
that is true. But you've been busy. You've been traveling. You've been going to a lot of different cons. I mean, which show did you go to this weekend?
I was at Toronto.
That's right.
So it's the first time I've been to Toronto, and I've been to that Fan Expo,
mm-hmm.
and it was. I mean, that's a very large con. I've never seen. Well, I have seen bigger cons than that, but I was surprised of how big that con was. And I mean, it's multiple floors too. So they have like this. The basement level is the main exhibitor hall, and their artist alley is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But the show's so big that they put panels on another floor, and then they have the celebrities all on a whole different building. So
Jeez.
It's
I've heard it's a huge show. I have a few friends up in Toronto who suggested I should go to that one just because they know I'd be impressed by it. But I don't know. It's not been one that I've been able to make it to. But did you get some art while you were there?
Oh yeah. Annabelle was holding some art for me, and I ended up picking some up.
That's some of what we're going to see tonight, then.
Yeah. It's the first time I've met Annabelle, and she had a bunch of artists there, and it was a pleasure meeting all of them. So.
What is it? Orion wants to know if there's framed art behind you.
Yeah, there's what is it? It's a Terry Dodson Harley Quinn. I mean, I bought it framed, so I just decided to do something with it.
Oh, that's good. I have yet to get the art on the walls here. I'm
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it though.
but you're
So
right. I've been traveling. I mean, I went to your Columbus show. I went to Toronto,
I know.
and it was I made a special trip to the West Coast, and which I'll talk about later.
Well, how do you want to? You gave me some artwork to look at and some photographs that you took. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start
Well,
with the
we'll
art?
start with the artwork. I think that's what most of the folks want to see.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. I'm sure, and I think most of these have some good stories to them as well.
yeah.
So let me see here. I've got queued everything up, but I don't know if they're in the right order. But why don't I go ahead and just show some
Go
pieces
ahead.
here?
Oh yeah, this is Fred Ian. He's a painter, and Annabelle reps him. And this was part of the Marvel's. Marvel's Upper Deck series. I don't know. I don't have the card, but uh, obviously this is Loki. But I bought this for the face. I just loved it. It was you could tell how mischievous he is, and he's up to something. So I just love this painting, and I only bought it really because of how he expressed his face.
Now, is this one that you had pre-bought, or did you decide to buy it when you were at the show?
Oh, I pre-bought this.
Yep.
I saw the face. I said, I got to take it. So,
Yeah, I've actually never. I bought stuff from Annabelle during Comic Art Live. I've never bought anything off of her site yet before. Only because I'm usually late to the party. I think.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Mr.
So,
Easy Good Luck. It says nice choppers.
yep. This is 11 by 17, and I have a few more, but because I'm limited time here, I'm only going to go through a few of the pieces that I picked up. But I'll be posting this on my calf.
Cool. Yeah, Fred Ian's. I've always liked his style. He's very detail oriented, and yeah, I mean, I think this is a really great piece, and I'm partial to Loki, of course. So this is a good one.
Right. Yeah. I also got a Fin Fang Foom by this artist because I'm just a big fan of Fin Fang Foom, and I have I guess a minor collection of Fin Fang Foom art.
In your calf too.
I have a few pieces there in calf. Yeah, I think so. I think I have a Corey Hampshire. When I say a minor collection, I probably have 3 or 4 pieces featuring Fin Fang Foom.
Well, I don't have any,
Yeah.
so that's a lot more than. But he's yeah. Well, that's very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Let's see. Yeah. Here, this is another piece you picked up from Annabelle,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. This isn't published. I don't know what it takes to get published. But I think the artist is DK Ruin,
Hmm.
and I think he did this for fun. And he is a published Marvel artist as well. He does some art for DC, but uh, I picked this up. I've always wanted a piece by DK, and during the whole series, I had a Moon Knight itch, and this is probably one of the few Moon Knight pieces I have. I think, I hardly have any Moon Knight pieces in my collection. I wish I had more, but I always loved how DK, painted this and how he did the background. So this was, I'm glad I checked some boxes with this one.
Well, it's a popular piece amongst the collectors in the chat.
Thanks, everybody.
Let's see here. Oh, this one's awesome.
Yeah. So this is by Francisco Mobley, and Annabelle did this sketchbook of Spider-Man art by her artist, and I didn't realize this, but in order for her to use one of the pieces for the cover for this book, she had to get permission from Marvel. So Marvel had to bless and say, okay, you can use Marvel piece, and also you can publish it as a cover for your sketchbook. I call it a sketchbook, but it's just a bunch of artwork from various from all of her artists, drawing either Spider-Man or some of the characters related to the character.
Yeah, well, this
So
one's awesome. I love the mask on the kid as well. I mean, it's just
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. I love that he's saving the kid. The kid's wearing the mask, and there's Doctor Octopus. I've become a bigger fan of Doctor Octopus over the years. Not so much like I've kind of like Green Goblin. He's okay. Venom, he's kind of get worn out, but for some reason, I've Doctor Octopus has been growing on me over the years.
Now, in your collection, would you? I mean, I know you have a lot of you have a very number of artists whose work you have, but as far as themes, we've got the Fin Fang Foom and a minor theme. What are your major themes as far as
I don't.
characters versus titles, that sort of thing?
I wish I could tell you. I don't really have a major. I mean, the biggest themes I have is probably X-Men art, and Rogue is probably my favorite character. So, those are probably the two biggest themes I have. But typically, if I see something I really like, I'll probably go for it. So.
Well, Jason's talking a little smack out there. Well, where is it? Here it is, right here. Because you and Doc maybe they have the same haircut, Jason. They don't look anything alike, my friend.
Yeah. I think he's calling me fat. I don't know.
I don't know what he's trying to call you right there. Jason's cutting everybody.
Who knew Fin Fang Foom wore purple draws? I mean, that's why I really like Fin Fang Foom, because he wears shorts. I mean, they made fun of him in that series that Stewart drew. I can't remember. Yep. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't remember, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, that was such a great series. They made fun of Fin Fang Foom because he's a big giant dragon. He's wearing shorts. So
yeah,
it's like a Chris Nork, the FedEx theme. Very funny.
Well, you never know what you got in those FedEx boxes. Right? I mean, it's all right.
I'm slowly converting. Yes, Chris Nork is right. It's called Next Wave. That was a great series.
Oh, Next Wave. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris and Colin. Yep. The board shorts.
Oh, Colin. Thank you.
All right. This next one kicks all kind of butt.
Oh, so this is by Ricardo Latina. So this is obviously another artist that's repped by Annabelle, and this kind of went under the radar. This was like sitting on her site for, I guess, months. I don't know. But for whatever reason, nobody saw it. I'm looking at it. I was like, this is gorgeous. So I took it. And I don't know how everybody missed this. But the details, I mean, maybe because it's Man Thing, but the details on this, it's incredible. I mean, we're probably talking about
size on this one too.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost like Arthur Adams-esque. I mean, in terms of like the level details everywhere, it's so gorgeous. And I've always wanted a nice Man Thing piece, and this checks that box. And I can't imagine, getting maybe finding something better. But this was kind of sort of like a hidden jewel that was this just sitting on Annabelle's site.
Nope, I agree. When I saw this thing, I was like, "Holy mackerel!" I mean, the lighting on it's great. I mean, it's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. This artist just felt something, and then just all the stars aligned, and he just made this beautiful piece. So, yeah, this is one of the pieces I'm the most happy with.
What was the size on that?
That's 11 by 17, yeah. And I believe I got it for only $1,000. So it wasn't too much, but I never heard of the artist, but that piece in terms of level detail, that's I didn't even know who the artist was. I saw the detail and I loved it.
No, I don't blame you. That's fantastic. I like that one myself.
Yeah. All right. So this is by Zoo Orzu. I got a few pieces, picked up a few pieces from her. So this is one of those, I think it's probably a rising star. And this is getting away from my typical, traditional comic artist. And this is getting more into the more abstract artists. I've become more attracted to other abstract artists like Bill Sienkiewicz. But there's other folks like that. But this is Zoo Orzu, and this is a cover to Pearl. And you probably can't see it, but there's shiny paint that's also on this as well. So when you look at it in person, it kind of glitters. Mm-hmm. But I think this is one of the most amazing pieces I picked up this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the you sent me some high res scans too, so
Yeah,
I'm looking at those over here. Yeah, it is gorgeous. You can't really tell where where those highlights are, but yeah, this thing is beautiful.
right. And I mean, unfortunately, I never read this book in my life. I mean, Pearl, I think it's on the second or third series, but this art, I saw it. I started becoming a bigger fan of Zoo. I know Mikhail has several pieces by Zoo, but I'm becoming more and more. Her art's more and more appealing to me over the years.
Yeah, no, I got to interview her once on
Yeah,
Comic Art Live, and yeah, she's really nice, and her techniques, her work is just unmistakable, right? When you see it, so
right.
I've always admired it. So it's a great piece.
Yeah. All right, so this is another Zoo or Zoo piece, and this is Department of Truth. This is why you have the X over the I. Never read Department of Truth. I hear it's a great series, and I'm missing out. But I saw this. She said she was instructed to do something psychedelic. And I think she got that, and I don't know what goes on in an artist's mind when they start putting paint together. You know, it's just she started painting and using brighter colors than she typically does, and everything is just going well. I mean, to me, I don't know how an artist does this. It's just they slap on some paint, and it just everything works out.
Yeah, no, this is it's very cool, and I haven't read it either. I hate to say it, but yeah, man, blue tongue from licking Smurfs. All right, Wes. Mr. Easy Go Lucky is curious if it's watercolors, or do you know what the,
I don't think it's watercolor. No, I think it's a mix of acrylics and probably some oil, but it's probably was done. No, it wasn't. I don't think it's done. It wasn't done on watercolor paper, but no, it's my guess. It's acrylics.
yeah, that would probably make sense. I would
Yeah,
think years of color theory says Hart.
yeah.
Yeah,
And again, like I said about the other Zoo piece, she does put some glitter on this, so you can't really see it on the screen, but when you look at it in person, it does sparkle, which is an interesting thing. And obviously, I bought these before I even saw these in person.
now with something like this, though, how are you going to store it to make sure it doesn't, you know, as far as like rub off any of the glitter or mixed media effects
Oh,
that are already
that's
on it?
it's a good question. It is not an FedEx box.
Okay, so
It does have a plastic cover, and it's right now in the portfolio. I do have to think about what I'm going to do in terms of putting on a wall or anything something like that. It's oh, Andy said it looks like gouache. It probably
gosh,
is. It probably is gouache. Yeah,
yeah. But no, Andy would know, right?
yeah,
And CJ suggested it as well. So
yeah.
gouache it is. We can go with that. And varnish, I don't know. That would be after the gouache. We usually varnish is
I
done
agree.
before. Yeah. But still, I guess you might, I'm not sure how I'm sure Jeff Wedding would have a few suggestions on how to store it just to be on the safe side. Because I was always
Oh yeah.
curious about their work and proper ways to store it, because sometimes she'll do a lot of different stuff to the artwork, and
Mhm.
as far as just laminate it, says Jason. Nope, that's not something we recommend, Jason.
Do you think that Mylar probably would like rub off some of the paint over the years? Or
I don't think so. I think
okay.
that's probably the way I would do it, but I wouldn't put it in
Mm.
like a FedEx box. Like, that
Right.
if it's in a mile, I'd probably put it in a Mylar, and then in
Right.
I guess in a Toya or something. Maybe not facing another piece of art though. Just to
Mhm.
keep everything pretty smooth in front of it.
Yeah. Yep. But like I said, she's a rising star. She's been doing a lot of variants for the indie publishers, but she started getting more work with DC, and eventually, I've imagined she's going to be probably in demand between DC and Marvel.
Well, I would agree.
Frame it, you Philistine.
Just gonna highlight that one from Chris. Oh my goodness. Yes. Jason wants you to grab a random FedEx and start showing everybody.
I actually did a video for him. I did grab one and started showing stuff. I pulled out a Wally Wood.
Did you find anything in it that you had forgotten that you owned?
Yeah, well, Wally Wood.
You had totally forgotten you had a Wally Wood.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not that level yet. So, but here we go. We've got the one piece of art left. This is the
Okay.
This is the doozy.
Yeah. So pretty sure some folks have been wondering what happened to this piece, and here it is. So I've been the lucky winner of this Arthur Adams X-Men recreation of the X-Men Special Edition, originally created by Dave Cockrum, and I feel very fortunate to have this. I mean, I'll get into the story of it, but this, I've this is kind of like, I feel like I got my grail, and I've always wanted like an Arthur Adams masterpiece, and I think I got it. I finally got it. I mean, Arthur Adams will continue making masterpieces, but I wanted one with a focus on the X-Men, and I finally found it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the one. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, it's so gorgeous. I mean, I have no words. I've always wanted something X-Men related from Arthur Adams, and I mean, if this piece would check all the boxes and more. So, I mean, how did you feel when you finally got it? I mean, I can't even imagine what that would be like.
It was bittersweet. I mean, I wasn't anticipating it to be published. I mean, it was published after the fact.
Yeah.
But I paid an exorbitant amount for it. Went well out of my comfort zone, and I think it was worth it. But I really had to reach for it, and very happy I did. I'll tell people that probably my favorite pieces in my collections are the ones that I overpaid for. I think I overpaid for this one, but at the same time, it brings me a lot of joy. So I finally got that Arthur Adams X-Men masterpiece. I look at it every day, and this is pretty much a grail to me. Now, I know there is some nostalgia for the original Cockrum, but for this specific piece, this was like, I finally have a great Arthur Adams piece.
Marcus is chanting USA.
Yeah, I figured that because it was an auction, and I probably was bidding with a lot of folks overseas, probably from Singapore, because Arthur Adams has a strong following, overseas as well too. So I was I think that's where the his Spider-Verse poster.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 8 covers. I
Yeah.
think it ended up going to Singapore, but I'm an X-Men fan more than I'm a Spider-Man fan, and I'm very happy that I got this.
Now, yeah, is this one that you would put on the wall? I mean, is it?
Oh yeah,
you
absolutely.
want to be able to look at this thing every day,
Absolutely.
right?
It's just, it hasn't happened yet. I haven't figured out what I want for the frame and who I want to frame it. But this is a trophy piece of the wall. I mean, I can probably stop today, and I'm satisfied with my collection. But the likelihood I probably won't stop.
Right, well,
I need to slow down. Definitely. This is like I said. This is where I really reach for it. But I don't think I can. It will be a while before I could reach that far again.
Well, but it would have to be a pretty special piece to make you want to go that far into funding a piece like this. So yeah, like George just said, it's hard to top.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
Chuck's like the ultimate classic X-Men cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really jealous of the guy who owns the classic X-Men #1 recreation. I've seen both the original art for the classic X-Men #1 and I've seen Art Adams' recreation of it, both of them in person. And I'm jealous of both of those owners.
Wow. Well, they have something to be jealous of you
Yeah.
now.
So,
But well, I mean, that's good. I mean, every once in a while you have to
yeah,
go out of your comfort zone to get that piece. I mean, a lot of people are doing that these
yeah.
days, you know. I mean,
So,
really extending themselves at times just because there's so much good art
mhm.
available out there anymore. I mean, you know, that's been I think I don't know. I've just been talking with a lot of collectors who've been doing that, but none of them have really regretted it,
Mhm.
you know. But they know it when they're not in their comfort zone anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. So for this piece for the art or for the Arthur Adams, so he was auctioned, so I bought it directly from him.
Hmm.
I flew out to pick it up. I just so he actually considered flying over to here to the East Coast, but nah. I
To hand
mean,
deliver it.
I tend to fly. I like to fly out, so I flew out to the to California, and I actually made an itinerary of meeting other collectors, and you know at the best moment was when I had dinner with Arthur Adams and Joyce Chin, and we had couple hours, spent a couple hours over dinner just chatting, and he gave me the whole fan experience when I picked it up.
Oh, that's awesome. So, do you want me to show the photos in order, or should I show the one with art with you and Art? I
Well,
can
we
do
could
them in
just show
order.
it in order. I mean, this is what I've been doing the last couple months. But so during my trip to the Bay Area, I met up with Eric De Los Santos. Some of you see him as Eric DLS on CAF, but he has a very impressive collection. He's been collecting since the 80s, and he has right now 99 Arthur Adams pieces. And other than Arthur Adams, he has very nice Magnolia. He has an incredible treasure trove of art. And I went over his place and I took a few pieces of some of my favorites. As over right here, I think this is, if I remember right, this is Arthur Adams inked by Barry Windsor Smith, or it might be the opposite. But this to me, this is such a memorable cover for me.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I took a few photos with it, but you'll only see this one and maybe one other. So this
Yeah.
is at Eric's house, and you know, if you know Eric and you ever visit him, he gives you it's a show for him. He doesn't just hand you a portfolio. He has all of his pieces in Mylar, and he's going to show it to you one by one and talk about each piece. So Eric's collection is so massive. I was there probably for like 7 or 8 hours, and I saw maybe a third of his collection. Oh, hey, Eric, I see him in the chat.
Yeah, he.
So,
I mean, well, he's been at it for a very long time,
yeah,
and he's one of the most passionate guys I know for the hobby and for the artwork that he loves. You know, I mean, that's he's somebody I met early on in person. You know, as a collector, I think my first San Diego probably, or maybe the second, I ran into Eric, and yeah, no, he's one of a kind. I really
yeah.
yeah, nice to have you in the chat, Eric.
Hey, Eric. Oh man, I didn't even know Eric was in the chat. That's awesome. This is another great piece that I mean, this is the cover to the Marvel graphic novels Torment, where I believe the story was Doctor Doom was trying to resurrect his mother, and he's trying to work with Doctor Strange. I mean, the story is very vague to me, but I remember the art just being just being blown away by it, and that's the famous cover to that major piece. So, Triumph and Torment, yes. Um, so Eric, I know it's great to walking into a museum and just looking at all the great pieces, but I'll just go to Eric's house and he lets me like hold it, hold it in a Mylar, but just look at just spend a couple minutes going through it and sitting back and just staring at it. It's amazing experience.
Well, Mike Maloney is pulling for that lucky number 100 for Eric. Oh, it's your birthday tonight, Eric. Is that? Oh, well, happy
Oh,
birthday!
happy birthday, Eric.
My goodness, tonight's your night. Well, we should have had Eric on. Eric, one of these days, I know that we've talked about it in the past, but if you're ever up for it, I'd love to have you on the show. Even if we weren't looking at art, I'd love to talk to you about the hobby and your time in it. You've got you've helped out a lot of dealers over the years and done and seen more art probably than many of us will ever even hope to own or see. So anytime. But happy birthday. That's great that you're here tonight.
Yeah. Eric owns 6 Arthur Adams covers from the classic X-Men run. I don't think anybody else has that many. It's a fantastic collection.
All right. Well, let's hey. Speaking of Mr. Adams,
there you go. And then later in the evening, after my visit with Eric, I had dinner with Arthur, and here he is, holding the piece, and I'm just, taking a photo with it. Like I said, this was pretty much a pretty quick flight because I had work on work the Monday, so I flew out Friday and then made it back on the East Coast Monday morning. So this was a quick cross country trip, and it was worth it. Arthur Adams was gracious enough to give me the whole fan experience, and then I picked up this Grail. So awesome! Just everything about it was awesome.
It's funny. Jason and I were talking earlier about deals in parking lots, and CJ mentioned a parking lot deal.
Well, this was probably this was the handoff, but this was after we had dinner. So.
Well, you can't take it to the dining table at all. That you can't get any food on the art. Jason wants to know if he bought dinner that night.
Yeah, he did. Well, I don't know. I mean, use my money probably.
Right. I was gonna say, either way, Larry paid for dinner.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
And did you do this after Columbus? I'm just curious. Was that part of
No, this was before Columbus. This was probably like 2 weeks before Columbus.
That's right, because I kind of remember you telling me that you had a line on something early, like a month ago.
Right.
When you were telling me about it. All right. Wow. Yeah. Well, it's tough to keep this hidden and under wraps for a whole whole month, Larry. I can't even imagine that. When I get something, I show it off the moment we get it.
A few people knew. But there was I noticed it did start getting leaked, but now I'm here publicly telling everybody that it's mine. Yeah.
Well, here's part of your West Coast trip.
Yep. Yeah. So on my way back, I had a long layover in Las Vegas, and you may have seen this photo before. But I met up with Jeff, Daryl, and Matt, and surprisingly, they've never met up before. Before I arrived in Vegas, I contacted Daryl, said, "Hey, Daryl, you want to meet up? I'm going to be in Vegas this day." And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Okay, let me ask Jeff if he wants to meet up." He's like, Jeff's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then Jeff starts asking other people. They've never seen each other. so I'm going there, and Jeff and Daryl are meeting for the first time, the same time I meet, Jeff for the first time. So I'm glad that everybody found a reason to get together, and now I think they meet like every other week.
Right. But, it sounds like you brought the Las Vegas chapter together, Larry.
I think so. And I'm telling folks, let's meet up in Las Vegas. I mean, everybody has a direct flight to Las Vegas. I think it'll be fun, and Jeff and Daryl and Matt, they're all fun people. There's always fun things to do in Vegas too. But if everybody has a conference, you can just dial them up.
That's right. They're all on CAF, everybody. So if you're making a trip to Vegas, these are the guys you want to hang out with.
Oh, and Daryl, he has an incredible bat cave. I went there. I've seen pictures of it, but I go there in person. He has a Bernie Wrightson on all 4 walls. He has several Kelly Jones, Jay Lee. He has a who's list on, and they're all on his wall, and it's absolutely amazing. This art bat cave he has.
So you got to get more than dinner. You got to get a tour.
Exactly. So, no, this is Toronto, and so this was last weekend, and I tell folks, I enjoy hanging out with the people probably more than I enjoy going to the con itself. I mean, I do my shopping at the con, but I mean, this is Eric, Mike, and Craig. Craig is an inker for Marvel. And another night we had two other artists. But I mean, I had dinner like each night I was in Toronto, and the friends that I'm hanging out with there. I mean, to me, that's what makes going out to these places fun. The con itself, I went to Toronto when I was at Toronto. I went there for Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday I stopped by for maybe an hour or two. But it's hanging out with your buds, seeing other collectors. And in Toronto, I've met several of the Canadian collectors that I've never met before. I only knew them by their, calf or by messenger, but never met them in person.
Hmm.
And when I finally went to Toronto, I met a couple of them in person, and the just meeting people. That's why I go and travel. I mean, that's to me that's more fun than the con itself.
No, I completely agree.
So.
Let's see, and there's a familiar face right there.
Yeah, this is Duke Fleed, and this is and this is actually at his booth, but he sells a lot of art books, and this is the first time I've met him. This is one of the Canadian collectors, and it was a joy. He was really busy, but in the few seconds that I got to meet him, we got to chat a little. I bought some artist editions from him, but it was a great time to meet someone like Duke. I wish that I either came a little earlier or stayed a little later so that I can actually have a sit down dinner with Duke. But I had a very great pleasure in terms of seeing him in Toronto.
No,
It's like number one Groove fan.
exactly. Looks a lot like the number one Groove fan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. But yeah, no. I mean, I Duke would be somebody I'd love to get the chance to meet sometime too. So that's awesome. But then you close it with this. You're always going to be staring at the art, huh?
Yeah, this is me pretty much every day. If I feel bored or from feeling sad or and I'll just pull this up and just look at the details. So it's I mean, for at least like a week, since I had the piece, I was looking at this every day like this.
Yeah, I assume that's you look like the ladies in the lower left hand corner. You're just eyes ablaze, looking at the art. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I can't say I've ever had a. Well, can I say that? I've never had a purchase like that. Not yet, anyway.
Right.
I mean, maybe one day, but that's so great, Larry. It really is. I mean, like you said, you may not get another opportunity to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know when the next time I'll make a purchase like that, but boy, if I do, I'll definitely share it on this platform. And I do have the picture, so I'll put it on my on my calf. But I know some folks were waiting to see who got it. Some folks knew how much it went for. I'm not going to share that, but I'm definitely going to put it on my calf, and it is gorgeous. It is. You guys see photos. You guys have seen it on Instagram and on the show, but in person, 22 by 17, and I'm looking at every inch of it. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, it was, and I can't wait to see it on calf. I know that you'll probably get a ton of comments when it finally makes its way up there. Make sure you include like the picture with you and Adam as an auxiliary image too.
We'll do.
Art Adams is so awesome. I mean, you gotta put it up there as well to complete the story.
Right. So eventually, I expect Art Adams to sell large prints of it at a convention, but I'm not sure when.
Right. Nope. Well, Larry, you know what? I hate to eat and run, but I've got like a ton of other things going on tonight. But that was awesome, and I'm so glad you wanted to do this because we've only done art reveals a few times on the channel. I wish more people would think to want to do it here before they roll their stuff out on calf because it's fun. I mean, as far as it's kind of like a party for everybody to get to see the artwork first here.
Right. So. I'll look at trying to do it again. I'll let you know next time I get a good piece. I don't
Yeah, you
know.
got to top that one before you can come back, Larry. I don't know.
All right. Well,
But
thanks, Bill, and thanks everybody for their kind comments. It is a milestone for me, and I'll share it with everybody tonight.
all right, awesome. All right, thank you so much, and have a good night.
Bye.
All right, yeah, things are going well so far, but that was a haul, wasn't it? I mean, see, I didn't even get a chance to ask him. I mean, Larry got to meet Annabelle. I've never gotten to meet Annabelle either. I've only emailed with her a ton. That would have been actually a good reason for me to go there, just to actually meet her, because we've emailed for years, and she's been so great helping me with exhibiting at Comic Art Live and whatnot. But I've consistently never gotten the chance to see her at a show. She's been here a couple times, and every time I've missed her. So what are you going to do? So as everybody's saying, rally those likes, like Nick just said, rally them. We only got 52 likes. We're in 107 watching right now. So I'm kind of like past my schedule here, so I don't want to like drag a few things out. I've got a mailbag. I've actually got 2 boxes of things to open, but I'm going to do that after the fact. What I'd like to do now, because I can see I've got 2 guests in the green room that are going to be on a segment here. Dino went to the Comic Art Con in New Jersey this past weekend and shot a video, and just kind of did a walkthrough highlighting some of the art on the walls. And so he sent that to me, and I thought that it'd be really good to show off here. And then I've also got 2 guests who are going to join me after the video is over, and we'll talk a little bit about the con. And so here, let me go ahead and show this. And Dino, thank you so much. You do the best job. I almost have to do nothing to the videos that Dino sends me, because he is all about the production value on his stuff. So take a look here at this about a 5-minute video clip.
Hey, you CAFers! Have a car.
Lynn's on lunch break. he wants to have no way.
Brandon Sword, they call it.
Hey, Michael. Good stuff as always. No wall today, Rich? No, I ain't complaining. No wall today, Rich? How you doing? Hey, Dino. How you doing? Good, good. Hunker. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So, Jason, were you signing autographs during the show?
No
Oh.
one asked me for an autograph, no, Bill, but I did get to see a lot of friends, so it was awesome.
Good, good. What about you, Anthony? Were you signing autographs? You were probably handing out trading cards.
I
back
was
then.
signing autographs on checks.
Well, that's true. You always do that.
I always
You always
do
bring
that.
money with you to buy while you're at shows.
But yeah, thanks, Dino, for that covering the show. I was so busy, I didn't even take pictures of my own setup.
Well, that's good. I mean, that show's pretty. Isn't it only like a 5-hour show?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like you think. To me, it wouldn't it like a 10 to 5 or something like that. But they do like
10 to 3. He only lists
10
10
to
to 3. He wants to go home and work on his NFTs or something. I think.
I did see he's involved in some NFT business coming up, but yeah. So 5-hour show though, that's still you can cram a lot into it. When we did the Columbus show, we only had 4 hours. So I mean, I guess you can kind of see the whole room, and there's a lot more dealers
No,
there.
Bill, there's so much art there.
You need
could
more,
almost
like,
be
You got to have at least 7 hours. Well, somebody should let them know. It can't cost anymore. Most of those rooms they're not rented by the hour. They're more like rented by.
No, it's by the day. Yeah,
by the day, right? So you're not going to cost them anymore. You can work something out. Anthony, tell him you'll take over for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, right. Well, there's been talks, but whatever.
Yeah. Hey, I saw. Did somebody slap Rich for wearing that Dealmaker shirt? What's up?
Man,
with that?
he turncoat. He was turncoat, literally turncoat.
Well, he wasn't in your aisle. He was in Willing Glenn's aisle, so that's probably why he had to keep that. And he probably brought both of them. Whoever he was.
And he
sitting
actually, Rich always makes the excuse he sweated through my shirt and had to change shirts, and that's the only one he had.
Well, you should have given him an extra one then, Anthony. Come on, man.
I was giving away shirts. I had a blank table in front of me, and I filled it up with shirts and gave one out with every purchase.
Oh,
And we gave a lot of shirts out. It was really a great show.
So Jason, how was the show for you? Did you you sell a little? Did you buy a little? What was the highlights for you?
Bill, it's my favorite show of the year. Like I said, I mean, there's nowhere you can see so much art in one place. I mean, all the dealers plus you can go to New York Comic Con or San Diego, all the art's there in a smaller room without the other distractions or whatever. For me personally, I sold a couple pieces, I bought a couple pieces, I traded. Um, you know, I can't stress enough that if you can make it out for one of Joe's shows, you should come because the room was packed, but not like a big con packed, right? And you can have conversations, and there's people walking around. Everybody has a portfolio. So it's not only the dealers and it's not only the people that set up, the collectors like me and Fish and Dom and what have you, but everybody's walking around with a portfolio. And there's more deals going on that way on top of all the other deals. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's I went there early on. I think I went to 3 shows maybe in the first 3 years that they had it. I just haven't been back in like 10 years, it feels like.
Well, that's about how long it's been. Yeah, 10 years.
Yep. Well, I went to the first few because Berkey went to the first few, so I had a riding partner. It made it easy. But when I had to fly out on my own or whatnot, it became a little bit more difficult. It is close. Is it close to an airport? Chuck's wanting to know.
Yeah, it's if you want to fly into Newark, it's very close. It's only about 15 minutes away. So, I mean, and Newark is the best airport to fly into in the whole New York area. You don't want to fly into anywhere else, really.
Right. It's at a hotel, so you got a place to stay for the night if you're not flying out that.
Well, that's the one thing I heard. Like people that did stay at the hotel aren't going to stay there again. But the room was great. I mean, the room was just big enough. Mm-hmm. Like right at probably, what do you think, 4,000 square feet or something like that? 35 in that range. And you know, every dealer I talked to, I did a poll, you know, and every dealer I talked to, you know, Rich Donnelly had a good show, one of the best. Will said it was his favorite show, and he did business. And Moy said it was great. Glenn said it was great. Doug from Comic Link said it was great. Solid, got some stuff. And Joe said it was his best attended show ever, which bore out in the room because early on, the room was actually crowded. And that was the only time in the history of that show that the room was crowded, ever. And the good thing about it is that I think his mailing list is reaching some newbies because especially with my inventory, I sold a good amount of stuff to people I had not seen before. And they were like entry-level stuff. And that's why I, you know, have 4 people helping me to carry all that stuff in. So, you know, entry-level collectors can find something that they can start their collections with. And that was really good part of the show. No, not just the high-end deals that I actually did, but a lot of, you know, nice entry-level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe had asked me to put some postings on Facebook and stuff. So I had a bunch of people that saw me posted up on like the sketch group and so on and so forth. That it was the first time they came to the show. So yeah, to Anthony's point, there was a lot of new people, new faces in the room, and you know, buying all levels of art. I know, Ant, you had some major sales, but then a lot of small stuff was selling too. So,
yeah, but I want to grind it out with the you know, the 100, 200, and buy 3 or 4 things, and that's bread and butter stuff to me. You know, that helps me cover, you know, how expensive it is for me to show up there with, you know, 4 or 5 people. And, you know, just loading out, loading in, and loading back out, you know, cost me, you know, over $1,000 in labor time. So, you know, I love that smaller stuff and getting that stuff done with collectors and starting people, you know, making customers. That's what it's all about. That's why I keep showing up, making customers like that. Now, I did do a big deal that I had some very strong stuff, probably the strongest stuff I've ever had for sale at a show, that I showed to specific people and did specific deals. And yes, it was the best day in the history of Anthony's comic book art.
Well, hurrah.
Yeah.
High five, Anthony. High five. So
What? I won last night. Oh, okay.
Oh boy, now he's got to pick it all up. But hopefully we'll see more shows like that. I mean, out there. I know that's a good one. Location's perfect. Being close to New York, is always going to be a good thing. And Bashar's got his couple West Coast shows. I mean, we did the Columbus thing. I plan on doing something down in Orlando starting next year. So, it'd be fun to see more of these kind of crop up. I mean, it's better to put them in places where you're going to have a lot more dealers. But I think even if you have a show that's going to attract a good amount of collectors, irrespective of the number of dealers there, you're still going to have a good show. You're going to have a lot, like you were saying, Jason. Everybody's carrying a portfolio. Just give them a place to kind of open up their portfolio, and you never know what's going to happen. I think when we did that in Columbus, I had the round tables in the same room, right? So the collectors could kind of open up their show what they had. Anthony walked over. It was kind of neat, the interaction there, just because having it all together. But as long as you can get the collectors all together, you're going to have a good show one way or another. Just as far, even if it's just a lot of trading, right? I mean, that's not something I've done, but I know that you guys do a lot of trading.
Yeah, Bill, I could tell you, one guy walked up to me and was like, "Oh, I saw you posted it on Facebook, what have you," and he had a portfolio, and Dan Poddick was standing behind the table with me, and he pulled out 2 Paul Smith X-Men sketches, one Colossus, one Nightcrawler. He's like, "Yeah, I want to sell these." And Dan and I scooped them up right away, and I took the Colossus, and he took the Nightcrawler. And
you stinker.
That's what I'm saying. There was more stuff walking around in those folders than even above and beyond.
A lot of them had doing dealer stickers on them.
Yes,
yeah,
they did.
Yeah, they are. They're out there. They're in the wild. But no, I completely agree with you. It's the collector dynamic that helps make the shows. I mean, it's the dealers are there, but they're there to buy too. So at the same time, I mean, you got to, if you can get the collectors together, it's always going to be a good show. So that's and I think I think it's cool that you and Fish set up your own booth, right? I mean, you don't have to do that, but I think that it gives you a base to work from, and you can get out and check the room as well, and then it gives people a reason to come out and hang out and maybe open up that portfolio.
Plus, we got to see the art that Anthony usually sees before all the other people come in. So we figured that was a good angle, too.
I knew there had to have been a little other motivation there. That makes sense.
Funny, because I've actually bought tables at shows just to get in early and didn't set up and left after I bought. Mm-hmm. That is a trick that I've done over the years.
Well, we're giving away all the trade secrets here tonight. This is as good as having an exhibitor badge at San Diego or New York or something, right? So no, I get it. And there it's a lot cheaper, right? Table prices are a lot less at Comic Art Con than they would be at New York or San Diego or any of the fan expos too. So wise, you guys are sly. I never thought of that when I was a new collector. You guys slay me, man. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I don't have half the tricks that some of you guys get.
Well, it was much in the 90s. It was much more of a Wild West show. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on now. It's just different stuff. So Fish says they had a happening table. I believe it. That's why I figured you both would be signing autographs, arm wrestling, you name it.
Oh, don't arm wrestle Fish. Fish has technique. He's got technique. He arr.
Yeah, I talked with James the other day too, and he said the same thing. He's like, the only reason Fish beat me was because he had a better technique. I would have killed him.
Oh yeah,
if I had the same technique. So yeah, but we've got the video proof to prove otherwise. But yeah, so everybody should try to make it out to that show if they, at least once. I mean, it's a good show. I mean, it's so. It's very friendly to getting the dealers in there because there's just so many local dealers that it attracts guys like Rich Donnelly to fly out and bring a fair amount of inventory. I mean, it's a good show for that because you got Bashar's show.
James, damn, because he gets all that X-Men crossover stuff happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do a bunch of stuff with Rich. I do a bunch of business with Rich. Period. I mean, as far as the Donnelly brothers, I can only deal with him. So.
Nick Perucci says he's afraid to do deals with both of you now because of all the tricks that you've got.
Yeah, we got so many tricks.
Yeah. But
I love Fish. Fish was there and he had some good stuff. And on the way out, we did a deal. I mean, I did business with Rich. I did business with Albert, and a lot of, I did a big deal with Brian Ketterer. I did a deal with Steve Frizzoco. One of my favorite customers in the world, somebody that's kind of unobtrusive, named Dale, comes in and carries a big stick. Dale does. So it was the best. Sharon unfortunately couldn't be there because she was seeing her dad recover from cancer surgery. So that was her priority. But I wish she could have been there for literally the best day of Anthony's comic book art life. So that was.
Anthony had cupcakes for her, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's Sharon ordered them and had them delivered. But they were okay, but not as good as the Sharona cakes.
Nope.
No.
I thought the best day of your life is every Wednesday night at 9:00, Anthony.
It is. I look forward to it. Yeah, it's like the hammocky part of the week.
I know.
And I get to be on camera with the missus. I let her out of the cage in the basement. Who said that last night?
I said that.
Oh, that was you.
You said you kept her, or whatever your language was. It wasn't appropriate.
And mostly happy, except when I'm in a bad mood.
Anthony still hasn't taken my offer from Dueling Dealers last night, Bill. I can't believe it.
Did you raise it over the 500, or is it still at 500?
On the Maggie and Glenn hooking up in the prison for the first time.
$500 on that page.
Hey, Ant, look what I got today. You know what that is?
Oh, here's a reveal, just like what Larry did. Look at that.
Oh, you got that Neil Adams? Wow.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Are we going to do reveals? Okay, I'm going to do a reveal then. I was
ready
to do a reveal. So I did a huge deal on a piece that had been buried in a collection for 30 years, and I took this as part trade in the deal, and I love this page. Like, wow, look at that!
Wow,
the Ramita Spider-Man recap page of the Goblin from 39, 40. And then, how he found out who he was, the whole Goblin recap. And it's just one of those perfect panel pages that has a beginning, middle, and end. And, like wall capable panel pages. Wow.
Yeah, first panel is the one right there, man. That is awesome.
Somebody was saying this might have been used for a reprint cover, this panel, but I might have misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but amazing piece that you've got there. Love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I gave up a piece I could keep for the rest of my life, but I got something back that I could keep for the rest of my life in that way. So that's what's your best price, Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. I'll
tell you what, that's the first time I've shown it, but I've already gotten 3 offers on it.
Yeah, well, that's the state of the market, man, and that's a good page. We all know that there's not enough for me to see your Spidey artwork out there, so that was a good one, a very good one. I love. I got nothing to reveal. Shoot, I'm feeling left out.
You got Muppet Babies strip?
No, I don't. I could open up one of these packages, though. I know there's something in here. Why don't I do that? At least I have something to show off, because I'm not feeling it without show some kind of artwork here. This is a package from collector Matt Ellis, who's based out of Miami, and he's Matt E on CAF. For those of you who may be familiar with this CAF gallery.
Here's another piece from that collection that I picked up. I love it. It's John Buscema. It's from Savage Sword 3.
Who's the anchor on that one?
Akala, I believe, right?
I can't tell.
Oh, no. I don't think this one's Akala. This one's Akala. Savage Sword 3. I have to look that up. This is the Akala one. And this is from Savage Sword 4. So we like those early Conan Savage Sword pages. What else? Oh, this is a really cool DC debut. Look at that. Superman family.
A DC.
It's not doing dealers, Anthony.
That's
These
right.
are reveals. These are
Yeah, there's
reveals.
no prices on those, Anthony. Come on, stop it. Let's see
Oh, I
here.
got a really killer piece. You want me to show another killer piece?
No, this is not a show for selling artwork.
I'm not selling. I'm just
You're trying to get
revealing.
some offers tonight.
Well, that's,
We're here to talk about the Comic Card Con.
Well, this is stuff that was
That
available.
you got when you were at the Comic Card Con, right?
Yep.
All right.
I
So
didn't
this is,
start it. Jason started it with that Neil Adams film.
I'm not selling my Neil Adams, Anthony. I can tell you that.
Exactly. No, that is a keeper right there, man. That's I've always wanted. I told you when we were talking earlier. It's like for me, if I could get an Adams page, I want one with the Sentinels on it. You know, that's the thing. When I did that sales show with him back in December, and he offered to do a free sketch for me, I asked for a Sentinel. You know, it's just always was my favorite thing that he did. So yeah, that was. I'm very jealous of that piece. Very, very jealous. All right, so let me just show you what Matt Ellis sent me. It was one of those things where Matt got a best of trophy at the beginning of the year, and I can't remember for which piece that he was nominated and won on, but he was like, oh, I want to send you something, because he loves everything I've done. So he's a big fan of Sebastian Kruger, if you're familiar with his artwork, and so this is like a Mike Berkey thing here, because that's that's Jack Nicholson from The Shining. So it's his prelim to that painting, which I believe Matt owns, and then Matt also collects a bunch of sculptures from a guy named, I had to even write it down, Luca Piergentili, and so he sent me this one. This is actually an actual sculpture. It's not like a cast piece or anything. So it's a Spider-Man. So Mike should be jealous, but so it's original bust that and it's that they would have used to then cast and make prints out of or make other statues out of. So 2 gifts from Mr. Ellis. So thank you, Matt Ellis, for those. So not as cool as a Romita Senior Spidey page or a Neil Adams X-Men page, but just as great. So
here, Bill, this is what Anthony looks like before he has lunch in the morning. If you go to the warehouse, this is what he looks like.
And that's probably about what he looks like after he has lunch.
Yeah, but at least I'm consistent. I'm consistently in a bad mood over there. Yes.
Well,
no, but we should have some cake. We should have cake party, maybe Friday or something. Everybody come over. That's in the area.
Party. Well, everybody that's near you can go there for a cake party.
Yeah, that chocolate cake looks good. I want to cut that. And we still have the Hulk hand cake from last week. So
yes.
Well, I might be around tomorrow afternoon, and text me.
Oh yeah, well you're always welcome. Thursday is a light day for you, right?
Tomorrow's Friday, isn't it?
Oh, Friday, yeah.
And it is the 1st of September, Anthony, not the 2nd or whatever day you thought it was when we were talking the other day. So, all right. Well, see, we had a good chat, Jason. I'm glad you could join us.
Thanks for having me.
And look at that amazing wall of art behind you. Jason's done a calf cribs, everybody. So if you haven't seen it, and after the show's over, do a search on YouTube for Jason's calf cribs video. It's very awesome, and he shows off all the artwork on the back walls.
Can you bring some nails and some hooks and help me hang some stuff in the warehouse? You're so good at it.
I got to find a spot for Neil Adams now. I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, you got to edit it. Edit the wall.
I don't know what you're gonna do. You have to replace something there, Jason. Those walls have art. All right, guys. I got to move on to my next bit here, but thank you so much, Jason and Anthony, for joining me tonight.
Well, thanks for having us.
You both are always welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
It's the Sharona.
What, Sharon's there? Could she say hi?
Say hi. Oh,
hey, Sharon.
Hi.
Bringing prettiness wherever she goes.
What's this? Nothing.
Oh, because I showed this. This was it.
Anthony's been showing off a lot of artwork.
This one, the Spider-Man page.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yay. So I got the official win from Bill.
Yes,
from
you
last
did. We
night.
let everybody
Yay!
know you got the win, and it is definitely official by $900. Anthony, congratulations!
Face it, Tiger.
Shh.
All
With
right,
some
guys.
chocolate cake.
Hey, gals.
All
I'll
right.
see you later.
We'll be web slinging our way to your an art sale near you. Thank you, Bill. Good night.
Mhm. All right. So yeah, cool art for me too. And they obviously those guys got some great stuff. I gotta move this out of the way. I do not want to break that sculpture. Get that there. But I think he uses like Sculpey, or Super Sculpey or something along those lines. Different products to make that thing. But that's awesome. But Matt's got like 3 or 4 of those in his calf gallery, and they're all like full figure, 12, 18-inch tall statues that he's got. So you know what? So why don't I go ahead? I've got another package here. This one came in from a collector named John Wojtek. John is I believe he is in Western PA, and he's a collector. I met him at the get together in Columbus, and when we were talking, you know, he told me about kind of his history in the hobby. He's been like in and out of collecting. He collects for 3 or 4 years, gets burned out, takes 3 or 4 years off, comes back in, and then rinse, repeat. He's done that at least 2 or 3 times, and so he was just an interesting guy to talk to. And we had a lot of when he knew, like maybe 3 weeks before the show that he was coming out, so we emailed a bunch leading up to it. So it was just fun getting to know him and getting to know his history in the hobby, and what his collecting tastes were. And at the end of the show, he's like, I got something that I should send you. And so I don't know what it looks like, but I sort of know what it is. So we'll take a look at it. But John did start. So here's the thing. So during the pandemic, he decided to start collecting again, and all because of the Comic Art Live shows that we've been doing. It was like a lot of us, we were looking for something to do, and we stumbled upon watching the videos, that I've been doing and Nick's been doing, and next thing you know, he got the bug to get back in. And when he was at the Columbus show, I know he bought a few pieces from Anthony. I don't know if he bought anything from Mike, but again, he had a good time. His wife was with him, and like I say, at the end of it, he's like, I got something that you should have that he didn't need any longer. So a lot of styrofoam in this thing, and I got it. You know what? I can't find Mikhail's knives that he made for me. I know I packed them away, and they're someplace in the office, so I'm stuck using this pair of scissors until I can get my knife back. Oh, let's see here. Well, it's heavier than I thought. Let's see. This is gonna make a mess. All right. You can kind of figure out what it might be from the shape, right? All right. Well, I'll be able to put this to very good use, of course. Wow. Yeah, so I made a mess, but this is, there you go. It's even got, look at that. So this is actually carved out of wood. This is not, the one that I use in all the videos is foam. Probably weighs about 1/10 what this thing weighs. So we have a new prop, and this is probably a bit more properly sized than the one that I've got over there. But thank you so much, John. So it's not a toaster. It's hammer time, as Matt just said. So that's awesome. All right. So man, extra props for the back. And you figured this last week I opened up that other one from Dino. So this is we're getting a nice collection going on here. So you shall be avenged. Yes, I'm worthy. Clearly, I'm worthy. And it's an attitude adjuster for the kids if they ever get out of line. So thank you to John and to Matt Ellis for those packages. The first, after Dino's was the first package to get here, and these were the next 2. So that's very, very nice of everybody to send me that. That is good and heavy. All right, so I've got a few other things to go over. One of them, this is kind of a teaser. I only just did yes, I am worthy. Thank you, Dino. And speaking of Dino, next week. Now, Dino really was the originator of the calf cribs. I mean, he didn't know it at the time, but he made the first calf cribs video, and It was well produced. I can't even find it. I went looking for it the other day just to see if I still had it on one of the hard drives around here. But we showed that off a very, very long time ago. Well, Dino has decided to do his own calf cribs video, and we will present that next week. Maybe Dino, maybe if you're free next week, Dino, I'd love to have you on. When we do that. But I just did Dino sent me a little photograph of him in his art cave, and as Dino was mentioning, you can hang your art on the ceiling. As you can see right here, Dino has art on the ceiling. He has art on every single wall. On the back of the door to this room, there is art, and we are going to get to see it all in his calf cribs video next week. And I know, well, I have it, so I've seen it, so I can tell you it's phenomenal, and we're all going to get to enjoy it together next Thursday. So yeah, Dino, if you're free, let's work it out. I'd love to have you on the show when we do the reveal for everybody. But I'm looking forward to doing that for sure. So next Thursday, and I don't have a flip for next week either, but I do have a flip for today. James Siegel sent me a flip a few weeks back, and just the way my schedule worked, this is the first week I have the opportunity to show it off. So James, I think James may be flying right now, so that's why we haven't seen him in the chat. But he said he was going to watch this after the fact. So let's go ahead and take a look at the flip that Mr. Siegel has put together for us.
Hey guys, welcome to my portfolio flip. I was did a calf cribs episode earlier that showed a lot of my art on the walls, but I wanted to share some of the art that I keep in my portfolio. So let's get started. To start out, we have Marvel Comics Presents number 28 cover by Mark Silvestri and Joe Rubinstein. Gambit number 3 from the Gambit Limited series, cover by Lee Weeks. Wolverine number 105 cover by Anthony Wynn and Dan Panosian. Doctor Strange number 1 cover by Chris Pachalo and Tim Townsend. Lock and Key Head Games number 3 cover by Gabriel Rodriguez. The Doctor Strange number 1 is actually done on thick illustration board versus illustration paper, so that's kind of neat. Infinity Countdown number 5 cover by Nick Bradshaw. Hellions number 15 cover by Steven Segovia. Steven actually modeled this after the Queen album. Drax number 1 cover by Scott Hepburn. Chew number 4 cover by Rob Gilroy. Fantastic Four number 5 page 4 splash from Heroes Reborn by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. X Factor Annual number 9 page 64 pinup splash by Steve Lytle. It's my newest piece. Dazzler number 2 by John Romita Jr. and Alfredo Alcala. Uncanny X-Men number 251 by Mark Silvestri and Dan Green. Uncanny X-Men number 325 by Joe Mad and Tim Townsend. X-Men number 53, page 19. This is from the first full appearance of Onslaught by Andy Kubert and Cam Smith. Professor Xavier and the X-Men, title page splash, issue 5, page 1 by Stephen Ellis and Ian Aiken. X-Men Adventures, number 3, page 21 by Andrew Wildman and Robert Campanella. X-Men Adventures, number 6, page 22 by John Hebert and Greg Adams. Elektra, number 10, page 4 by Mike Diodato and Scott Koblish. Ultimate X-Men, issue 68, page 12 by Tom Rainey and Scott Hanna. X Factor, number 142, page 2 by Leonardo Fernandez and Dan Green. Peter Parker Spider-Man, number 5, page 10, by Bart Sears and Scott Hanna. Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 20, page 10, by Jim Valentino and Steve Montano. X-Men number 206, page 22, by Chris Bachalo and Tim Townsend. Age of Apocalypse, number 4, page 10, by Chris Bachalo and Mark Irwin. Hulk, issue 11, page 19, by Ron Garney and Sal Buscema. Wolverine 67, page 6, from the Old Man Logan storyline, by Steve McNiven and Dexter Vines. Chew number 1, page 17 and 18, both by Rod Gilroy, written by John Lehman. And we'll finish up on a spicy one. Gen 13 number 76 by Rick Mays and Jason Mattis. And it is covered for CAF Live. However, if you make donations to CAF Live, I might slowly pull off the sticky notes. But that's what I got, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on CAF.
So yes, I can hear the phones ringing right now. Donations are coming in as we speak. Yeah, that was very nice, James. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good flight tonight. And as always, James did a calf cribs video as well. So you can always you can Google his, or search his name on YouTube actually, and you'll find his calf cribs videos. Now he's done a flip and a calf cribs. A very select group, I believe, have done one of each, including Mr. Jason D'Ambrosia as well. So yeah, art will be revealed for mature audiences only. Exactly. So what do we got here? I got a couple other things to do before we get to the CAF update. I've got I want to go over the schedule really quick, but actually before that, I did get of course we lost Tom Palmer as inker extraordinaire, and I did get a photograph from Peter Rowe. He just wanted to share his sentiments, and was he met him at Hero, I believe, a few years back, and sent me this nice picture of himself. Peter's the gentleman on the right, and of course Tom Palmer in the center there. So again, huge loss, but we can all remember the man fondly. I never got to meet him at a con though, but congrats to Peter that he got to hang out and get the photographs with him. So congrats to that, Peter. So yes, schedule. I've actually got some updates on the schedule, some interesting updates as I try to always do. We'll go over the sales stuff first. Because of the massive glut of auctions next week, we have there is the Comic Link featured auction, summer featured auction is actually on Wednesday night. I mean, come on, what's up with that? But they've got their featured auction ending on Wednesday, and then of course the Heritage auction. Their current upcoming signature auction starts on Thursday. So, initially, I was kind of opting not to go with a show at all for that week, but the vote was to go ahead and do a regular show on Saturday, since we don't do those too often. So we're actually going to do another show on Saturday, but then skip the following Wednesday. So we'll get 10 days off after that. But so you can look to see us on Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, all the rest of some of the stuff is new in here in the red. I got Neil Adams' Family on the 12th. That's a Monday, 9 p.m. And that's going to be fun. A lot of published work from Neil late in his career. Then I haven't talked about this one before, but I've got Michael Oeming back on for a chat and art sale. That'll be on Saturday, September 17th at 2 p.m. Then on the 19th, I'll have the Next Comic Art Crew with Jiggy. And that's a Monday night at 9. Then the following Monday will be the final match between Kat and Sharon with the Amateur Dueling Dealers. So Kat is going to retire a champion, of course, because she's won twice already. But they've said this will be the last bout between the two of them. Then going into October, I'll have Bart Sears on the 8th. That's a Saturday at 2 p.m. I talked with Bart on a video call last Friday. With he and his wife, and we went over some stuff. And Bart's a pretty interesting guy. He sold a lot of his artwork, but incredibly, what he showed me, he's got he's got very, very detailed prelims that he's done. I mean, we're going to be doing published work by and large, but he has like complete books, because a lot of the works that he did, he inked himself. And so he would do his pencils on, on a separate board and light box the inks, and then, was selling the inks. So he's got complete books. I mean, and a lot of them, and binders and binders full of stuff. It was pretty amazing. He's like pulling stuff out. So like, think anybody would be interested in this or that. And so, yeah, we kind of went over a game plan for what we would show this first time out, and I told him we would experiment with some of the stuff, but that's going to be an interesting show for sure. Now, I've included on here the Baltimore Hero auction that is going to be on October 28th. We may actually, live stream that. I am going to be there. I'm going to be helping Scott Dunebeer run that, but Scott's going to be doing the majority of the work. I'm just going to be there as a smiling face. But with that auction for Hero, they're actually going to be doing pre-bids from people online. I don't really know how, whether that's through Facebook or some other format. But if you've seen some of the work that's already been given to them, there's some great Mike Mignola piece. There's some from Walt Simonson. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fantastic pieces available in that. And they definitely are going to be taking pre-bids to have a starting place for the bidding when it happens at Baltimore. And Scott was even thinking, maybe we might try to do something live. I told him it probably wouldn't be a good idea. But the thing is, I did tell him that if the hotel we were doing this in would give me a good connection, a wired connection, I'd be happy to stream it live. So anybody who was curious about the art auction for Hero could tune in and watch it. So at the very least, that is what I'm going to try to do on that night. For something fun, something different for the channel. Then, as we get into November, I will have Gerhard on the the 5th of November, the weekend before Comic Art Live, Saturday at 2 p.m. Then we've got Comic Art Live on the 12th and 13th. And I've been playing tag with the guys at Cadence. I mean, we had a date, but they picked a date that I didn't have available any longer for Mike Hawthorne. But we will iron that out. I was hoping to have something to tell you guys tonight, but it looks like I'll have to wait till next week. But artist Mike Hawthorne and I will do a interview and sales show sometime in the very near future. My guess will be early October. And speaking of October, we have gone back and talked with Mr. Vosberg, Mike Vosberg, and we are going to do a sale with him in October as well, probably somewhere in the middle of the month. I can't say when, but hopefully by next week we'll have a confirmed date for the Vosberg sale. I think a lot of it is going to be his final Laurie Lovecraft stuff, but there will be a few other things as well. So let's see. Then just my chat schedule. A couple things. I've got Joe and Nadia on with a hot preview next Tuesday. We're going to do it earlier, something like 7:30, and then I've got collector James Henry on after that. Then the following week, same kind of thing. I'll be doing a Comic-Con Connect preview with Micah. And then I'll have Sean Gordon Murphy on after that at 9 p.m. And then I'll have collector Alan Hamilton on the 20th. And these are all Tuesday dates, of course. And then I will also have Dinesh and Mike on the 27th. They've got another lots of art that they haven't put on CAF, so it'll be a reveal show. Again, we did one of those with them 7-8 months ago or so. So we're going to do another one of them as well. And I do have some other shows lined up. I just haven't gotten them all on the schedule yet. But the good thing is I'm trying to get myself at least a month and a half out for the interviews that I've been wanting to do and get back onto a normal schedule. So we'll be close. That could be true, Fish. That could be true. All right, so there's my upcoming schedule. And why don't we go ahead and just take a look at my heritage picks? Now I have to tell you, Nick is not doing a show tomorrow night, so he's no 7 o'clock EXP. So I don't have an EXP preview for you, but I do have my heritage preview, and I can pull that up here. Of course, I've got way too many windows open with all the things I've been doing here, but I know I can finagle this window around to the right spot. All right, here we go. Why does it just ask me to log in? I'm not sure why Heritage always does that. It logs me out even when I've been on the thing and not logged in to begin with. But here we go. All right, let me highlight this one. So here are my 10 picks from the upcoming Heritage auction that just went live. See, I even bid on this one. Didn't place it. It was more of a thrill bid. But I bet if you can see my max bid was $25, so I got outbid. But this is a Dan Panosian Loki illustration. I really liked it, and I mean, look at that. That's like half pit bull, half half racehorse, right? I just love that. I mean, I love Panosian's work anyway, and we just saw something in James Flip from Panosian as well. But I thought this thing was pretty awesome, and I'll probably even bid on it again because there's something about it that when I saw it, I just like I love it. So and it's Loki, of course. I could put that on the back wall. That would go well. So that was my one of my 10 picks from this week. And I tried picking different people, like I've always said. This was a Carmen Infantino, Ernie Chan, that creepy 88. It's, I call it a title page. I mean, it's kind of a chapter page, I guess, with the logo there and everything. But just a nice piece from Infantino. And it's funny. It's like Ernie Chan's inking, and a lot of times, when you look at Chan's inking on a lot of people, sometimes it's really heavy and overpowers it. I mean, but I can see Infantino through all this, so I really like it. Love the E, right there. That's fun. It's a nice page. And again, from Creepy 88. Then I picked this. We had Ben Oliver, a piece from Ben Oliver in our and Chris's picks last week, I believe. So I saw this piece. It was a Bane illustration, and I just liked it. And I thought, since we had him art featured by Ben last week, I thought it would be good to kind of pull this out. So I don't think we've ever featured any art for sale by Ben Oliver, but same thing. Chris pointed out just a really nice technique. Again, he's a solid artist, and this is a nice pinup. So if you're a Bane fan, this is the art for you, right? All right. Now I've picked Frank Thorne stuff before, but this one, why would that thing go away? There we go. I just thought the panel layout on this thing was so crazy. I mean, I would have featured this art on CAF, my update, just because, just how the way he's done this. I mean, with the storytelling, in the gutters here, then this middle panel, and then he repeats it here. I just thought that was just so off the wall interesting that I had to highlight it. I mean, I can't say it's like, wow, I want to own this piece, but as far as an interesting piece of art, dang, I mean, I want to own it just because of the panel layout on this thing. I mean, when you sit back and just look at that, that's just so darn cool. I love it. I mean, I should put a bid on that one because I've been wanting a Frank Thorne. And this is it's from Marvel Feature 3. It was a Red Sonja story, but there's no Red Sonja on that one. But yeah, I like that one. I still might bid on it. Just from the layout alone, I really dig it. I'm going to leave that window. I'm not going to close that tab. Here is a Dino. This is you're a fan of Mike Grell. This is a Mike Grell, Vince Coletta Warlord 30 page. Just fantastic. I mean, I've never, I was never a big Warlord fan, but I was always a Mike Grell fan. This page is just, really cool, dynamic. It's got that, I love this. It's kind of a Neil Adams-y kind of breaking in the panels by doing stuff like that, but just really, really nice. Grell piece here on Warlord. That first panel is awesome, but you even get just a really great kind of a cover image here from him as well. So lovely art. And I think, didn't somebody post a really nice, somebody picked up something at Comic Art Con, I think if you go over to CAF and search on Grell, I think probably one of the newest pieces that are in there is a Warlord piece. I think it was is it a cover? I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but so I'm gonna leave that one open to remind me. But again, very nice piece by Mr. Grell there and Coletta. So let's see here. This is a Walt Simonson, Joe Rubenstein piece from the Marvel Handbook. And I don't know, do I see a lot of Simonson in there? I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I can't say I've ever seen this piece of art before. I'm sure maybe some of you have. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Marvel Universe and the Rhino. Very well done. All right, now why am I down there on that one? Okay, this was a cool page. Paul Gulacy, Terry Austin from Legend of the Dark Knight 13. No Batman on it, but you got Catwoman all over it fighting a ninja, and just I like the storytelling through here, the battle. I thought it was funny. They're still battling on a rooftop, and they mentioned something about not needing to go in because there's nothing to steal. And then they do this one inset piece to the wealthy people at the party, and you see them battling through the skylight. I just thought, from a storytelling perspective, that was really fun. and then you get the ribcage kick here at the end. But just this is a really nice page. And again, Paul Gulacy and Terry Austin on this piece. So very, very cool. What do we got next here? Oh, that's right. Nova was I never was a Nova fan. I bought all the books though when I was buying comics. So this is from Nova 13, Sal Buscema pencils, Joe Sinnott inks. Nova pages are hard to come by. Good pages, especially a page like this where you get them in that bullet flying mode right there. But nice page. As it's obvious Sal pencils from the moment you see it, and clearly Sinnott inks as well. I mean, as a pair. This thing is just great, and I picked up. I had that Miss Marvel page by these guys as well, and you can just tell the style there. So if you were looking for a good example of both of those gentlemen working together, this is a good page. And if you're a Nova fan too, then that's a bonus. So next up, got 3 more to go here. This is a Luke McDonnell Iron Man 191 cover. Now I'll be honest, I was never a big Luke McDonnell fan. Because I was a big Iron Man fan. I know I don't talk about it, but I did. I bought all the comics for Iron Man. I loved them because I really loved when Layton was doing it, doing the pencils, and then when Romita Jr. and Layton was inking him. I mean, it was just great. And then it was like we came into the Luke era, and it was just such a slap in the face. I'm sure if you were buying Iron Man back in the day, you had to have felt the same way. That transition was just weird, but by the end of it, I really liked the art because the thing was the stories were still pretty good, and so this is, this piece here is actually really nice. I can't remember this cover. I don't think they even show like the published image with this one. Let me check here. No, they don't really have anything else for it, but I like this one, and a lot of zipatone on it, and it's a piece by Luke McDonnell. Now, I picked this cover because it was weird. And this is my last piece for everybody. This is a Ross Andru, Dick Giordano Action Comics cover. It's issue 505. And it's just funny. What was the title on this one? Look, on this cover, it's a beast. It's a monster. It's the creature that charms children. So, I don't know. There's something about that one. But the thing is, before I even read it or saw it, I thought the Superman image, even though he's getting whooped on, was really cool. And you get Ross Andru working on this. I mean, who doesn't love Ross Andru's pencils? And you get Dick Giordano inking him on this one. So fun, weird, and again, the creature that charmed children, a 40-cent cover, issue 505. So and also where was it? Because this is actually their whole overall list, I think, if it refreshes itself. I mean, look, they put this Garcia Lopez cover in here, Detective Comics 487. I didn't highlight it, but I was curious to see where the bidding was at, because this is a weekly auction, and this thing is in here, and it's at 17.5, and this thing hasn't been live for 24 hours. Now, I mean, what's the market value on it? And I don't know. I mean, 25, I don't know, but maybe 30. Who knows? We're going to find out, because it's probably going to be the top seller for next week. But I mean, just a great cover, and just not something that I would ever expect to see in a weekly auction. So, I mean, we don't see that. I mean, since I've been doing these picks for Heritage, about at least 10 weeks, and really ever. I mean, they never put stuff like this in a weekly auction. So really, really curious how that happened, and what the final price ends up being on this one, because it's great. I'm sure, Nick, I'm sure you love this cover. I mean, it is. I'm not a DC guy, but this is awesome. Garcia Lopez is always freaking awesome. So there you have it. There are my picks for the week. Hobby Halbert. You never know, Hobby. You never know what you can own, right? So people stepping up to the plate at all times. But nice to have you here in the chat tonight. So let's go ahead and get on with the CAF update here. We're at an hour and 43 minutes. I knew the show was going to run long. But I wanted to have I really dig having extra guests on the show. So it was fun having Larry on earlier, and then getting Jason and Anthony on as well. So we're all talking about covering many different facets to the hobby here. So let's switch gears and talk about the CAF update. So dollar-wise, this week was actually as good as the last week. I think total between dealers and auction houses, it was right around $750-ish. We had the Jim Davis auction, that an extra heritage auction in there that added about $100,000 to the overall total. So let's take a look here. So with original art dealers from the week of August 22nd through the 28th, just under 300,000, $299,200. And that's from the dealers whom I work with and can corroborate actual sales. Those are the total sales that I can substantiate. $299,200. And that's down from the prior week of $362,000. Again, that was Comic Art Con kind of fell on there. So maybe we'll see some numbers get goosed up because of dealers packing up and getting back on Monday and then, finally committing some of their stuff to being sold. Top sellers for the week were Ramita Man right at $100,000 in sales, and Albert Moy at $58,000, Anthony at $49,000, and what else we got here? Felix was at $33,000. Quan had one sale for $15,000, and then Panel Page had 5 sales at $13,000. So those were all the sellers who were over $10,000 last week. So first up here, let me go ahead and highlight this. I want to show you the top 6 sales from the dealers during that period. And here it is. So what do we got here? First up, this is sold by Felix. This is the complete issue, cover and all, to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Bilquis Evely. And the price on this one was $21,000. We're only showing the cover here, of course, but it was for the complete issue. And then next up, this was sold by Albert. Asking price $16,500. The painting entitled The Waiting by Bernie Wrightson. I think Albert's had that a while, but good to see it moving on to a new home. Hey, it's the Neil Adams. We saw this one. And this is from issue 59, page 20. Neil Adams, Tom Palmer. Price on this beauty was $15,000. We know Albert does not discount anything, so that was the price. Then we've got another Neil Adams here. This is Superheroes Adventure Set, huge published cover art from the 70s, sold by Ramita Man, $15,000 as well. 15,000s are wild, by the way. This is a $15,000 piece as well. This isn't the original illustration, but this is the piece that Quan sold for $15,000. Todd McFarlane and Mr. Opeña from Spawn issue 300, the cover to that. And finally, this one sold by Mr. Berkey by Michael Golden, the Punisher 51 cover from 1951. And that one is a doozy. Absolute beautiful cover. So all those last 4 pieces all sold for $15,000 each. So and all went to good homes, I have to imagine. So wouldn't it be good one day to make it so that these dealers I work with could just transfer their images over to you so you can put it right into your CAF and not to finagle with downloading images or rescanning them yourself. So that would be a good feature to one day add, I think. I'll have to think about that. But over to auction houses now. Same period, of course, the 22nd through the 28th. Now, auction houses were up because of the Jim Davis auction that they had. So let me see. The total sales for auction houses, of course, again, just Heritage and eBay, nobody else, $430,000, $430,847 actually. And that was up from $376,000 the week before. So the top 6 results, 3 from eBay and 3 from Heritage, from the Heritage Weekly from last week. This one, of course, really cool. This is the Kirby Sinnott FF73 page. And how often did Kirby draw Spider-Man, right? This is page 13 from that issue, sold for $35,000. One bidder got this piece, so this wasn't a make offer type of deal. Did sell for $35,000 on eBay. These 2 pieces next, both sold at make offers. This is a Frazetta life drawing. It's a nude, very tasteful, guys. Asking price was $8,995. It actually sold for $8,400 with a make offer. And then we have this Mike Mignola Mask of the Red Death illustration. The asking price on this one was $7,500. The offer that was accepted was $5,000 on that piece, which seems about right to me. So these are the 3 Heritage picks. The first one here, the top seller went for $12,600. J. Scott Campbell, Alex Garner. This is from Gen 13 issue 1. Next up, we picked this one last week as well. This was a Bob McLeod Marvel Team Up 86 page, sold for $6,600. Guardians of the Galaxy all over that one. Very nice page. And finally, John Byrne, Tom Palmer, X-Men Hidden Years, issue 17, page 2. This one sold for $4,320. Very, very nice page there as well. And we saw Anthony have a page from not from that issue. I think Anthony's page was from 19 or so, but yeah, that's a good price. I mean, those the hidden years, people have always wanted those, but the prices hadn't really gotten too crazy. You know, they're always good pages you can get for around 2,500, 3,000. So now they're moving up, like everything else, over 4. So I'm sorry, I haven't been watching the chat at all. You know how that goes. But yeah, so goosing up the numbers from last week was the Heritage Signature Auction or show. Okay, they're calling it a showcase auction for Garfield art. They had 93 pieces sell for just over 105. I didn't include any of that, but yeah, everything that was high there was either a Sunday or a lot of spot illustrations that were done for various things, whether it was, like Christmas art, that kind of stuff. So I think the Jim Davis lots of auctions are never ending. I believe. I know that he basically consigned everything that he had over to Heritage. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those going forward. And they've done a couple of the showcase auctions each year, and obviously there's dailies in typically every week. So yeah. And I've got one now that I didn't have to buy through Heritage. Thanks to Mike. He bought it through Heritage, and that's how I got it. Because they do lots of 6 a lot. I think that's what he had. So I see Mr. Snork is, oh my gosh, I can already tell just from that little tiny thumbnail that he has hung all of the artwork that has been leaning against his back wall. So let's get this gentleman in here right now. Hey, Chris, how are you, man?
I'm good. That was the motivator that I needed.
But did you have to kind of move things around, restructure the plan?
No, there's a blank spot, but actually I flipped through a portfolio and found something to go there. I have a little Paul Pope thing commission that I'll put there.
All right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. All right, man. I like it. It's come together now.
Yep. And now I have to. There's always more framing to be done. I'm like the opposite of Larry.
Larry, he's for all the art he's got, he's very sparse on the walls, right? I mean,
yeah.
Well, we just need, what you do was we should just kind of send him a few frames just as a hint. That might
he needs
help.
He needs Michael's gift cards for holidays.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Rich is in the audience. I realize 15K is a good price for a giant size X-Men #2 page. Yeah, I would say that probably is. You're probably right there, Rich.
I felt, yeah, that feels solid to me too.
Yeah. And B&G said about X-Men Hidden Years should go up a lot now. I agree. I mean, those pages were always nice. I did enjoy that, the run, like the first 20, 24 issues. I remember picking them all up, but good storytelling. And, John Byrne just wishing to do things his own way, write his own stuff and take the X-Men in different directions, which he's continuing to do today.
He's earned it, I think, right?
Oh, he can do whatever he likes.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So, all right. So we've got our picks to go through today. I've got a few windows to shuffle around here, but anything new? Did you pick up any art in the last week?
I got this cool shirt from George Hodge.
Oh, very nice.
This is a Hodge original.
It's a Hodge original.
Yes,
nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. What did you do to deserve that? Just Chris.
I saw it on Discord and I said that's a cool shirt, so I bought it.
All right.
Yeah.
See, I don't
buy art.
Man, I gotta get on Discord. I know we started the Discord thing going, and I have not. Everything's kind of fallen the wayside in the last couple months. I really should pull it back up. Or I'm sorry that I have not been.
We'll see you over there when you get there. It's no hard feelings.
All right. Well, I do regret that. I've been wanting for a while to do something there. So let's see here. I've got here we go. Got the right tab. Let's see. But yeah, I haven't. It's been a busy week for me. We've actually started. We're almost. I wouldn't say we're done unpacking, but we're kind of getting close. I have to
take a long time.
I know. It actually seems like it was faster to pack it, and I thought it was going to be the other way around. So no, unpacking is the worst because you're trying to figure out which box to put where, and
right, you have to decide everything then.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of a chore, but we'll get there. So all right, let me get this highlighted here. So we've got this Bill Sienkiewicz piece. Let's see.
Yeah, I think blowing it up like this, you can see why it's a
my
pick.
yeah.
I mean, look at the texture's insane. He's clearly he's a master of the medium, right? So whatever you say is kind of superfluous. But I picked this piece for the texture. I love that the face is kind of like a map almost. It almost
Right.
looks like it has peaks and valleys and plateaus and things like that. But when you take a step back and you look at it, I mean it reads as a face. So yeah, just beautiful work from Sienkiewicz.
Oh heck yeah. No, it is awesome. And there is a CAF Discord out there. We haven't promoted it.
Join up.
Right? We haven't promoted it really, right? We haven't linked it anywhere. We got to work on that. We'll figure something out.
I keep just inviting people as I think about it.
We'll work it out, everybody, at some point. Once I get my act together, but Chuck and Chris have been very instrumental in getting it, getting things started, and they've done a fantastic job of that. So, but yeah, this art is awesome. I saw this one. This would have been one of my picks as well. I love Bill's stuff. I mean, just seeing it, and I think that was the published piece was here too. Holy moly, look at it.
Yeah, this is one where it's actually even better in color.
That's I was just gonna say I actually like this. This is
the blood effect is tremendous.
Okay, so they when they colored it, they added the textures into his.
I think he did. I think he actually did the blood as like a digital layer. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, man, that is pretty cool. So if you did your own coloring on that.
And again, I guess I'm a sucker for that black, white, and red thing.
Right. But wasn't there I know there was a piece out there. Maybe it was George Hodge. I can't remember who the collector was. And I maybe just spoken out of turn by saying it was George's. But I remember seeing another piece that had red highlights in it. But I can't remember what the piece was. I almost was going to pick it, and then I moved on to something else. So, very good choice here. And CAF Gallery of Juan Munoz. Nice pickup. Very, very nice pickup. And just I should let everybody know. Remember we talked about having Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz on. So we've had emails about doing that show. Ooh. And we're working on it. Bill's got a super busy schedule through October.
Sure.
So we are in the conversations are happening, and I think if we're lucky, we'll get something in before the end of the year. That's my hope. And the goal was for them to pick select pieces that they've worked on together. Typically Cowan pencils, Sienkiewicz inks over the breadth of their probably 25 plus years working together.
Yeah.
And I think it would definitely be a show to get both of those guys together, and then just the artwork. Yeah. Oh, and there you go. I was right. George says he recently posted a Miles page with red. So, there we go. So
Javier Garron.
Very cool. But yeah, so that show is still in the works, but until I can get Bill to kind of feel like he has the time, I don't want to even put it on the schedule. But I can't wait. I think that'll be a show that everybody's going to want to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we got next up here. Let me get my like on this. This is in Joshua Evans' CAF Gallery, a Brandon Peterson Beta Ray Bill. Holy moly.
Yeah, and not a character I would associate with Brandon Peterson, I guess. Normally I guess I kind of lump him in, right or wrong, kind of in the Adam Hughes vibe, where you expect good looking female characters and things like that from him. But so that was really cool because it was unexpected, the pairing. But I love the level of detail in here. I love the the different textures. For sure. I mean, you've got the cape has its own texture. The helmet has its own texture. The feathers have its own texture. Bill's, kind of leathery look has its own texture. And just beautiful coloration here. The level of chroma and everything is not even. He's pushed back things to push other things forward. Just really tremendous use of color.
Yeah, I agree. And Peterson's always had that. I mean, he's because he's colored a lot of work for Frank Cho.
Yep.
And I mean, but I've back in the day, and I think I've probably sold every one of them. I got a lot of convention sketches from him, and I love the ones that he would color because his colors are just so vibrant and
beautiful.
Yeah, he is so talented. So yeah, this thing is gorgeous. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to get on his, and I know he was like off because he was going to a show recently, so he did a fair number of commissions recently. But if you can ever get something from Brandon, you're going to be happy.
I also really like I mean, it has like energy, right? Because the hammer is like crackling with the lightning, but like it's got like Bill's face has like a fierceness to it. It's just like all around for a ostensibly a bust or, you know, a half, you know, figure commission. It's just so good.
Yeah. Nope. I am totally in agreement with you. Jeff says he still needs to post his commission from him. Come on, Jeff, you got to do it.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of his work. So, that is a good one. All right, so we got Eric B up next, and I remember what this one was. So this is the Harley Quinn issue 2 cover, and by Sean Gordon Murphy, of course.
So one of the cool things to me about Sean Gordon Murphy is how prolific he is. I mean, he's a very regularly working artist, and in spite of that fact, he still turns out like an extremely high level of quality. So he's a terrific designer. I think that goes without saying. So what I really like the best about this is that really the way he put this whole thing together. So I love the composition, like the different elements of it. Like you've got Harley and Ivy there on the left, and you've got the larger Harley figure, kind of like the midline there, the centerpiece. But everything about this works so well together, and in spite of it being kind of busy, like with the vines, like the feathery inking that he has going on the vines. Just works together anyway.
Yeah, I love the fingerprints for the tone.
Yeah, I love when he does that.
Look at that. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
All throughout there on the building. I mean, that is fun.
He's been doing that a long time too. I have a really old Sean Gordon Murphy piece, and it's got fingerprint inking in it. That's a taupey thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, because you look over like in here, he's he put the thumbprint or whatever in there, and then he used some white out to kind of highlight the vine over it. I mean, that's just fun.
That's kind of like his version or his razor blade trick, right? He uses the thumbprint.
No, very, very cool. This is very, I love everything that he does, but this was a good pick. I mean, this is a solid cover, well designed. And
aside from not having Batman on it, I mean, this is pretty much all you could ask for.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. So congrats to Eric for that pickup. I had an interview with Eric, gosh, about over a year ago now. So let's see who's next. We got Pixel Pusher is the owner on this piece. Let me get up there and get this from Scalera, Zealot from Wildcats.
Yeah, I know I've picked Matteo Scalera a bunch of times, but this just like jumped out at me. So the reason to pick Scalera, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but in my mind, the reason is the tones. So, just masterful tonal work here from Matteo. And the composition is cool. It's certainly very effective. It's basically like what you would expect from a single figure commission,
right? But
where you get the visual like interest or excitement in the piece is everything he has going with value here. It goes all the way from black to white and literally every shade in between.
Well, I agree. I mean, you could almost pick up almost every piece that comes up from Scalera. Yeah. I'm a huge fan now, thanks to you, Chris, really, because the picks that you've done of like, I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity to own a piece, but I love looking at his work. So yeah, this is a really nice one, and probably would have been on my pick list as well. So
he's really what the other thing that's cool is he's really so versatile. Yeah. Like you see him illustrate so many different, he does a lot of commissions, it seems, at shows or whatever, but really he's effective kind of on any, type of character, any genre.
See, Jeff's another, you got to
I'll come over. There, I'll bring my scanner. I know you're local. We'll just bang this out.
Oh man. But I know how it goes, Jeff. I've got a lot of art to scan myself, but yeah, you're just teasing us now by telling us you got these pieces that you need to post and share.
He's got a scanner. He's an artist, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. So this is in Gunter J's calf gallery. Not specified country here, but they've been a member of the site since 2004.
Wow.
That is commitment right
Oh,
there.
gee.
They deserve a like on this art just for that. So Brian Level, have we featured anything from Brian before?
I don't know. I'm a fan though.
Yeah.
I have a Level myself. He's one of Cam's guys. So and there's actually I think there's still some great pieces from this very series on Inky Knuckles. So if this trips your trigger, head over there. But yeah, the inking here is insane, and that's Jay Leiston, but Level did ink a ton of this himself too, and Leiston, very much to his credit, kept it all in line. You know, it looks very cohesive. You'd have a hard time picking, you know, who had inked which pages.
Sure.
But you know, it's so gnarly, right? I mean, this is so busy. It's so, you know, it's got that kind of like, you know, Kyle Holtz vibe to it, where it's like horror-ish, you know, horror-esque, which I think is perfect for the subject matter. And you know, just a vicious looking wolf, and you know, Batman's pinned to the ground. There's a lot of, you know, the stakes are high here. I don't know, just a cool piece.
Nope, I completely agree. Speaking of Kyle, if anybody ever likes his work, you just email Berkey. He literally has 400 pages of Kyle's work. I mean, and all over the different places. You know, they're not in one bin, which they could be. They fill a single bin, but it's got to be more than that. But he does. He's like bought up so much of his artwork over the years that he's just got a ton of it, a ton. So you know, ask him. He may have something you want if you're interested in stuff by Kyle. Not that this is a Kyle piece, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, I think Level's kind of a stylistic inheritor, and he's also a tattooer, and he's also a very cool guy. So met him at Heroes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
How did I not meet him at Heroes? I wasn't hanging around you. I guess I should.
You were a social butterfly at Heroes.
Hey, and Mr. Jason D'Ambrosio got his pick in here. This is, I think, we just saw this piece.
We just saw this live. I picked this because that Rapscallion beat me to this by, I'm guessing, what must have been seconds. You know, it's a Felix drop, so it may have been nanoseconds. So yeah, Nick Klein, amazing painter, obviously also an amazing inker because he's effectively painting with ink here. So, you know, everything that I just got done saying about Matteo Scalera also applies to Nick Klein in spades. You know, he's a tremendous technical artist. His draftsmanship is absolutely otherworldly. Yeah, I mean, and again, texture to spare. I mean, the texture on this is ridiculous.
There you go. Felix told him that he beat a bunch of his friends.
Yeah, you beat me, Jason. That's for
sure. Marcus says you can blame it on me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, so just an awesome Nick Klein cover. Chris Anton's very cool. You know, I wouldn't say I'm a closet Star Wars fan by any means. Like, my Star Wars fandom is definitely out there, but I just don't have a lot of Star Wars art, and I've been meaning to fix it for a while. So this probably would have, maybe I should thank Jason, because I have a feeling this would have kicked me off into some like Star Wars art jag, and I'd be even poorer than I am today.
Right. And then you'd be competing against Jeff Wedding and a lot of other people.
And probably McSpidey, and yeah.
Exactly. And now Jason buying Star Wars art too.
Yeah.
What is this world coming to?
Right? When you think you've got somebody like, you know, figured out.
Yes, and I agree with Michael on that one. The best wiki cover you're likely ever to see.
That's incredible.
There's been some good ones out there. I'll say.
There have.
But
Stuart Immonen did some insane Chewbacca covers on those Star Wars comics. There's that one where he's fighting Dengar. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a big Star Wars fan, but I know that cover. Yeah, that's well. So Comic Art Process says, Jason, you're on a roll. So and it's true. Shoot, man. So this is a good one though. When I saw this one, this would have been on my list too, because it's just so well done. And next up, we've got something from Oranga and their CAF gallery. Let me highlight this here. That's Bio Ripple.
So I picked this because I love showcasing artists that people might not be familiar with. In this case, I had never heard of this artist, which is even better. You know, I always love being exposed to new stuff. This is, you know, this probably falls more into the sake of like art for the sake of art in this instance, because, you know, I'm not familiar with the book. I'm not familiar with the artist. but this is a gorgeous design. I mean, the technical level of illustration here is very, very high. It's incredibly detailed, and I just love it. I love the composition. I love the overall like look and feel of the piece. It's beautiful.
Yeah, sorry, I want to try to see it in its best light. It was hard to, it was so close up, but yeah, it's very, very cool. I've never seen anything quite like it, or and I'm not familiar with the artist either.
It feels like the cover of like a Philip K. Dick novel from like the late 70s or early 80s to me.
Let's see. Aranga says TD Art still has a bunch of pages of equally great pages from this book. Well, there you go. If you're interested in this, go check out Tatiana's.
Larry says Aranga has an eye for amazing pieces. Glad he told me about the sale after he bought the best piece.
Well,
too good.
That is that's what we do as collectors. After
what
we
we
get
do.
what we want, then we share
Hey,
our
everybody.
knowledge of something. Yes. That's all right. I mean, hey, there's worse things we could do to our fellow collectors, but at least he shared.
Absolutely.
At least he shared.
He'd
all right,
probably let you look at it in person too. If
Oh man. Here's something from my good. Let's see. From Stephen DeVeach, Stephen D on CAF. Here we go. Speaking of Kyle Holtz,
yeah.
Dexter Vines inks as well on this page. This thing is. I love this one, man. This is great.
So unexpected combo for me. I'm not sure I've ever seen Vines over Holtz, but pretty effective. I mean, you got some wild blacks going on this page, certainly. And then I have kind of a soft spot for Lobo. I love Lobo, so that was cool. But yeah, just for me, this was about the combo of Holtz and Vines. I'd never seen it before. That middle panel's phenomenal. So yeah.
Yeah, the inking on this thing is just so tight. I mean, it's like a woodcut practically. I mean, it's so, the line work on here is just, it's like solid, confident, heavy. Wow. But still looks like Holtz could have inked it. I mean, in some way, it's like Dexter.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I would say Dexter put a stamp on this for sure, but
yeah,
I have a feeling that Holtz doesn't give you. I would imagine his pencils are tight.
Right.
Because he's used to inking him, he's inking himself. And I feel like when somebody knows that they're handing something off to someone, I feel like he would have gone the extra mile to make sure that his vision was realized.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, that middle panel is awesome. The chain wrapped around his arm. I mean, the way that's done. I mean, yeah, lots of really great stuff going on this page. And Mr. DeVeach. Or is it Davich? I think it was Davich. I think I'm screwing it up. Steve's watching it now, just shaking his head. All right. Well, no, great pick. And Steve adds another great piece of art to his collection. So next up in the collection of Mr. Ron Lim, not the artist, our Ron Lim.
Our own Ron Lim. Dave
Johnson on this one. Yeah. I'm ready. I saw this first, actually. I think he shared it on Facebook. I saw it over there, but really, really nicely done here.
Yeah, I mean, an homage to this cover, it was a no-brainer for me to pick, and I deeply, deeply love Dave Johnson. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. One of my all-time favorite artists, no question, especially cover artists. So, this isn't typically a place where like you would think Dave would like be able to cut loose with design, which is, I feel like, what he does best. But because it's a tribute, because it's basically our redo of this cover, but he still manages to like knock it out of the park. I love it.
Yeah, no, when I saw it originally, I just was like, wow, he's the perfect guy to work on this one. And, and he put his own little touches on it. I mean, it's really nice.
He's also low key an awesome thing artist. Every time I see Dave Johnson do the thing, I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
Let's see. Oh, Ron did his own. Oh, he did. So yeah, I should have clicked over. So he did the corner box art.
Yep.
Very, very nice.
So awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Stu's face in that is so good on the corner box.
And then Ron did his own colors on that one. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's gorgeous. Wow. Look at that thing, man. Chris,
I
look at
know.
that.
It's a home run, no question. Love
It
it.
is so awesome. All right. No, that is a good one. Well, congratulations, Ron, on this one. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Oh, you got to get the like on there. There we go. All right. Finally, Wolverine number 3, a DPS by Adam Kubert. Wow.
Yeah. Didn't we pick a Kubert DPS or like 3PS or whatever you want to call it recently
Right.
too?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So the retrospective stuff, he's got his Doughboy helmet on there, so that's clearly a flashback to like World War One. You've got the Weapon X flashback there in the middle. He's being ripped apart by Juggernaut there at the bottom. The Adam Kubert, I love the signature Adam Kubert like giant teeth on Juggernaut. He always did that with Hulk, which was so great. Yeah, it's incredible. This is incredible.
No, I agree. This one blew me away when I saw it as well. I mean, I just I love the weapon.
I hesitated to pick this because I was like, Bill, this has got Bill all over it. But to be honest, I was towards the end and I felt like I was like running out of runway. I was like, I just got to pick this Kubert. It's too good. Yeah.
No, well, you should. Don't you get your picks in before I do. So if you see something, you got to go for it. But I probably would I pick this one? I think my picks. I was trying to be a little different this time around, so I probably wouldn't have picked this one. But
I also really like that this has got some like little quiet, like introspective moments in those side pieces, and it's got the bombastic, insane stuff in the middle.
Right. No.
So cool storytelling.
Yep, I like it. An interesting, panel design there as well. And this is in Carl Choi's collection. Everybody, very busy guy these days.
Whole issues.
That's right. But nice pickup for Carl. His collection continues to get better and better and better as well. All right. Yeah, love the film strip, says Jock.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those were a fine set of picks there, Mr. Snork. Let me switch things around here and let's see. Try to get my window over here. All right. Let's see. And just got to share it. But
I'm gonna solicit quick while you're switching over.
Yeah,
Bill.
please do.
Can if somebody wants to come and do picks?
Oh, I do have a pick for
you do,
but for the first Thursday in October. But if you want,
that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, I do have someone to do that. So
people are getting tired of seeing.
I don't think anybody's getting tired of seeing it. But yeah, you've had a long consecutive streak here. It seems like all summer, right?
Yeah, shake it up.
Who was the last one? Was it Eric that was the last?
Probably, yeah.
That's been a while.
And he's awful, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He hasn't been in the chat tonight, so I don't think you heard that.
No me gusta.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and show my 10 picks here. So let me resize my screen just a little bit here. Speaking of Andy Fish, we saw Andy earlier in the chat. So I'm a huge fan of Andy and Veronica. They've supported Comic Art Live, the virtual shows since the first one we ever did. And this is in Mikhail's collection. So this is just a really nice piece. They tend to kind of work together. And on some pieces, during Comic Art Live, there's pieces that they've done together, and then ones that they've worked on separately that they put in their cap. But I just this one was just really nice. I love the style on it, and
I like it. Yeah, very like open and clean. It's got that animated look, and it's animated source material, so that's totally appropriate.
Exactly, and I couldn't help myself when I saw it because I don't see. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of artwork on CAF posted, and other collector stuff there, but I feel like I almost never see anything. Then they sell out every show, and so I was like, I got to feature Andy here, and so it was cool. I mean, I don't think I'd ever even seen Andy in the chat before, and he was there early in the show. Made a comment or two. So, so there you go. That's first time picking a piece by Andy and Veronica Fish.
It's a nice one.
Yep, congrats.
I really love the I love the unifying element with the background with the like the washed out web. Very cool.
Yep, I I would make this one my own if it was available. All right, so Michael McIsaac here next for me. This is for me this is I've been wanting, everybody knows, been wanting an Al Milgrom piece, and this is Al Milgrom. I think it's pencils, pencils and inks by Al. This is from
Marvel Saga.
Yeah, Marvel Saga, History of Marvel Universe, and this was an Iceman piece. Just, I don't know. I see this, and it's just like, this is everything in this piece reminds me of why I want to have an Al Milgrom penciled and inked piece. I don't even care what it's from. I just want, because I've got a couple pieces with Milgrom inks on it, which I really really like, but I want like a pencil and ink only piece from him. And so I saw this and I'm like, that's it. I got to feature this piece because it reminds me why I just love his work. So and this was like, these are retellings of Origins, I think.
Yeah.
There you go. He included like the original that was it was from, but yeah, really nice piece.
Yeah, it's easy for me to pick out Milgrom because all the guys' shoulders are the right angles.
Yes.
that's a Milgromism to me.
It is. And so congrats to Michael on this pickup. I mean, I'm jealous because I do. He's the one guy he's in my keyword alerts. And so I try my best to find one. And I just, so I'm jealous. This is a really nice pickup here. So
yeah, and I mean, for you, the subject matter is especially cool,
right? And then, exactly. I mean, I would have been all over this piece if I hadn't seen it. But that's how it goes in this hype. Something will come up. Something will come up. So next up from Foggy Bottom, this is a John Byrne Wonder Woman DPS. Essentially title page DPS. Just I always love John Byrne stuff. I mean, you look at this one though, and as a DPS, it just blew me away. I mean, I love all the different perspectives going on here. Just and I don't think did I read Wonder Woman. I read, like I said, I've told everybody I read his Action Comics and when he did Superman. But not being a big DC guy, I don't think I really checked out Wonder Woman at all. But this is a beautiful piece, and it's
just beautiful.
And you look at all that, in the relief sculpture, things that are here. It's so delicately done. It's so. This stuff you could like almost over render it, if done wrong. But I mean, all of it, it's just so delicate. I mean, it just,
and he separates it nicely too. I mean, it doesn't negatively impact how you read the figures in the foreground.
Not at all. And so as a work of art, this thing just really caught my eye. And I mean, again, I'm looking at it now, and I'm still just I was impressed now as when I first saw it. I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's a beauty.
Yeah. So yes, congrats. Let me get off of there. Did I do the like? Yes, I did. So Foggy Bottom, nice addition to your calf. Regal feel, says Dino. Baller.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So next up, this is in Sideshow Bob's Calf Gallery, Cycle of the Werewolf book illustration.
Oh wow!
From Bernie Wrightson.
I didn't see this.
Oh. Everybody loves Bernie, right? But for me, Cycle of the Werewolf, I would kill just to own anything from that. And he just did those wonderful, wonderful spot illustrations. Whether it had the werewolf or it didn't, everything was just so gorgeous.
I love these woodcut looking, like they're reliefs. Yeah. Oh man, so good.
Isn't that? I mean, this is stunning. It really is. I'm very envious. I mean, Sideshow Bob has an amazing collection, of course, but I mean, look at that. I mean,
and it's ostensibly a drawing of a big cloud,
right? It's like fingerprints.
It's so good.
Look at that. I mean, that is. I mean, I'm loving this thing even more. But yeah, I was a big Stephen King fan growing up. I was in one of those book of the month clubs, and when I was like 16. And every book I got was a Stephen King book, and they were hardcovers, but they were like not the originals, short, So I remember donating them all. But I was just a huge fan, and when Cycle of the Werewolf came out, I just couldn't believe it, and the illustrations in those books were just, I'm just killer, absolutely.
That's a beauty. I mean, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I want to look at it more. I wish it was in my hands. I could look at this artwork. So, very envious of Sideshow for that pickup here. Now, I didn't read the clearly. We've got a lot. FM wrote a lot about this piece. I'm going to have to go back and read all of that. This one was just kind of a, this is cool. I mean, we're all thinking about She-Hulk now because of the show and everything, but this is Carrie Gamble, Joe Rubenstein, just a straight up Marvel action page. I mean,
just a beat down.
Yeah, and everything about it is just pure period for me. I mean, it's just great. I mean, look at that middle panel with the punch. I mean, from the poses to the action, this page has just got everything you'd want in a
tons of sound effects.
Yep, in a dynamic Marvel page from this era, and then you get She-Hulk on top of it as part of it. So, and are they in like? I was gonna say I thought they were in a court. I guess not. They're not.
Is it a gym?
Looks like like you see like the stage there. So it's some kind of there's a stadium. There's some kind of seating in there. But either way, awesome representative piece. I mean, I'd own this one in a heartbeat because it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
And so FM has a very good calf gallery as well.
And it's from Fanfare too, which I think like adds a little coolness.
Yeah. And Larry says he wishes Carrie had drew more. Yeah. Gamble's somebody, when I look at all the holes in my collection, I'd love to get something by Gamble, but but like Larry says, there really isn't a lot that comes out too often. But this,
but
look at it now. It's like, I wish I owned this artwork. It's
great. This is a great pick.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm halfway through my picks here today. Look, Marcus is on a lot of these comments tonight.
Of course.
So, this is in Comic Art Boston's calf gallery. I saw Comic Art Boston in the chat a little earlier. Matthias Bergara, right there. I butchered that.
Yeah, Matthias.
Why do I always say Matthias? One of these days I'll get Matthias right. But Step by Bloody Step trade paperback cover. I mean, when I saw this one posted last week, I was like, "I know I'm using this one as the cover image." I just loved it. I love the hand lettering, for the logo. Everything about this piece is just really, really wonderful. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I just can't even. But I just adore this piece. So
he's a singular. He's got a voice, right? I mean, there's no mistaking his work for anyone else right now. It's, to me, outside of maybe manga, it's actually hard for me to like draw lines to influences, and I don't know enough about manga to be like, oh, it's kind of like so and so I can't. So for me, he's doubly unique.
No, agreed. Yeah, this is I just love this piece. I mean, and I haven't read Step by Bloody Step, so I don't even know anything about the story. I hate to say it, but yeah, and I've seen enough artwork, and this piece was a good one and worthy of being the show thumbnail. So, congrats to Comic Art Boston on that one.
He's been dominating lately. He or she, I guess I don't know. Comic Art Boston has been in acquisition mode, and it's been impressive.
They are he, but yeah, gorgeous. All right, and the reason why I always copy the names off for the mailing, if you were wondering why. But this is from Lee Banaka's calf gallery. Lee's offered to be on an upcoming interview as well. I really got to take him up on that. He's been a long time. He and I have actually never talked at length. We had a conversation on this show once, and I can't remember why. It was like a fill-in show of some kind. But this is from Captain America 121, Gene Colan, Joe Sinnott. Just I'm a sucker for Colan. We all know that. I really love his work, and here you get Sinnott inks on it. So just again, a really strong example of. Cap's getting a beating. Sorry to those Cap fans out there, but I love it. I love the shading techniques down here. I just thought that there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on in this particular piece. Whether it's the angle that we're looking at it, you get the top down version with the view with the cameraman and everything, but just a really, really well constructed page here.
Absolutely, yeah, great composition. The interaction between the figures is excellent. It's just awesome. So it begs the question though, Bill. So you're a big Colan fan, and this is, I feel like you don't see a lot of Sinnott Colan. So who's your choice for Colan inker?
Palmer.
I figured
for me, but that was kind of reason why I picked this one, because you don't see a lot of Sinnott inks on it as well. But
It reins things in a little bit, though. I feel like
It
you know
does, I mean-
Gene was so like bombastic.
Right. I mean, you know, because you look at like the shading in this character's legs, right? I mean, that's not Gene. That's Joe doing that, because that
Right.
looks like how he would ink John Buscema, right? Figure
Right.
work. So yeah, there's definitely some different stuff going on here, but again, really, I mean, I saw it and I'm like, it's unique. It really is definitely different, and I love the motion lines on the fist here. I thought it was really cool. I really like this piece.
See, I said Larry. I side with Larry. I like Everett over Colin.
Oh, Everett over Colin. All right.
I mean, no slight to Palmer. I mean, the guy's a legend, absolutely. But my preference would be Everett, I think.
All right. Well, I should probably go look at a little bit of more Everett over Colin. But I mean, I was a big Doc Strange and Tomb of Dracula. Those were my books. So Palmer inked a lot on those. But I get you. I mean, Everett on almost anybody would be.
Right, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Well, just like Sinnott on pretty much anybody.
Right. And what was that? Oh, messes like the fabric pattern on the jacket, lower right. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's but that's to me that's a Sinnott, right?
That's a Sinnott move, totally.
That's Sinnott. That's probably not Gene having a lot of influence on that, but that's okay. I mean, this page comes off. I mean, it looks great. So I'm sure, and it still looks. There's enough Gene in there that
totally. The figures are Gene. The composition is Gene. That swing.
Yep.
The punch, that's all. Yeah, Caps being like absolutely laid out, like that's Colin to a T.
Yep. Oh yeah. But yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, to see that. But all right, well, great pick. And Lee Banaka. I mean, Lee has a great calf going. How long has Lee been on the site? 2004. Another 2004.
Another OG.
Collector. Yeah, exactly. Almost one year after calf started, he was in there. So wow. All right. So we got 3 more here. And this one, I actually really like the story. I'm not going to read it all for you. I mean, I like the piece too, of course. Dennis Cowan, the question page from Shemp's calf gallery. But essentially, this was a piece that they have wanted forever. I mean, you think of a grail. I mean, here's him in 1988 trying to draw the same thing. So
that's awesome.
So you know what I mean. So this for Shemp was it was a piece that they had been looking for forever. I think I won't read it, but I think what he said was there were 6 pieces in his that he's always wanted, and this was one of them. And just an important piece to them from their youth, and they got it. I mean, so I love Cowan's work anyway, of course, but then this is the story behind the piece and why it made its way to the collector and how important it was to them is what sold me on this piece. Because at first I was like, oh, that's cool, Cowan. Then getting the story, right? The story was what sold me on this piece.
It is gorgeous, though. I mean, it's tremendous. The different inking techniques they've employed here, and the fact that it's Rick Magyar, like that kind of blows me away, to be honest. But it's terrific. Yep,
I would agree. Oh yeah, see, this is one of my favorite pieces. All right, but yeah, I was the thumbnail got me too, because just the composition of it was like,
totally.
That's a totally interesting piece, right? What is it?
Yeah.
And because I'm thinking
he's knocking 3 arrows too. That's badass.
Right, exactly. So yeah, this is awesome. Congrats, Shemp. So let's see, we got 2 more pieces here. David O's piece. Now this, see, I already like this one. I liked it so much when I saw it. From Spectacular Spider-Man 22, you get Mike Zeck pencils. Does it mention who did the inks on this one? No, but you get Moon Knight fighting Spidey. I mean, the first 3 panels are cool, right? But then this last panel, holy mackerel! I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean, it's just everything you would want in a cool Spider-Man battle is something like that, and it's Moon Knight that he's going up against, no less. And we got lots of bricks, and no one's pointed that out yet. But my goodness, look at that! I mean, I love that panel with Spidey's thumb coming across the panel line there. This and Moon Knight's in the panel. I mean, everything about this page is just freaking so well done.
Who did ink this? It's driving me crazy.
I know. I'm really curious too, because I'm gonna have to look it up, or maybe somebody out there who can actually open up a tab in their web browser can tell us. So again, this was from what was it, Spectacular Spider-Man 22.
Yeah.
Zach
Because
Pencils.
he's still got the Moon Knight still has the Perlin, costume look.
Yeah,
So it's early enough in Moon Knight's career that man, it's probably a bullpen anchor, right? And this is definitely early Zach too.
correct. Well, hopefully somebody will tell us. But yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, the more I look at it, it's back to, it's like the She-Hulk page. Everything about this page is just so perfect. I mean, for
Definitely.
that era. But yeah, oh man. But the last panel is what got me. Just seeing that when I saw it as a thumbnail, I like, that's it. I knew I was going to pick it without even having to look at it close up. So
Matt
congrats.
says Bruce Patterson,
Bruce
Michael
Patterson.
Callahan. There's a close second. I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
Nope. Well, David O's been a member since 2018, but yeah, this is
awesome page.
Yeah, without question. I mean, again, not a big Spidey fan, but I'd keep this one if I were to own it. And again, it's got Moon Knight on it too. I mean, that's awesome.
That's just a bonus. That could be, Lizard or Green Goblin or whomever, but the fact that it's Moon Knight is extra cool.
And Patterson lettered on that one too. So that's wow, double duties. So my final pick, I haven't picked too many things from John McCrea in the past.
Oh.
And this is in James Siegel's Calf Gallery. So James is still probably on a plane somewhere. Didn't know we picked it, but a work of art from Dynamite, of course, The Boys, issue 39. I just like the composition on this piece. It's fun, I think even Marcus got an early comment on there. Yep, Billy the Butcher. But I mean, it was all just the composition and the messy office.
Right.
Everything about
the film noir almost feel to it.
Yeah. And so when I again, the thumbnails are always what sell me on this stuff. And when it was smaller, I just really appreciate the composition, not knowing what it was from, and then just getting a good closer look at it. Again, I just liked it. And again, McCrea is somebody who I may have not have picked anything by McCrea before, but so I just felt like this is a good opportunity to pick it. And I don't always feature James's biggest, baddest pieces. So I thought this is a good piece to pick from James.
It is for sure. Yeah. And I'm hot and cold on McCrea myself. Sometimes I see stuff from him and I think it's absolutely like a world breaker, but then there's other times and I'm like,
Yep. No, I agree.
But anything with terror, Nick points out terror, but yeah, I like seeing terror too. Like I have an English bulldog, so.
Yeah. Well, it's I like it. It's fun watching James post things that aren't DPS X-Men pages, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is so that there you go, James. That's the secret to get me to pick your artwork. Don't do any more X-Men DPSs. Focus on pieces like this. Chris Pacello, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick one of those from you one day, but no, this is a nice one.
Unless if it's a Silvestri piece, I'll pick it every time.
Oh man!
It's all right. I call him like I see him.
So there we go. We made it through our 20 picks again, Chris. And I do
kind of brisk too. Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought we were going to hit like a 3-hour mark with all the things I was trying to pull off tonight. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
It was a good show. It was a fun show.
Yeah, and Kevin Sharp is going to be my guest on the 6th of October doing the picks.
All right.
So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know. I think Kevin was in San Diego, so he wore a Dueling Dealers shirt to the auction in San Diego too. So he sent me some pictures. I always meant to show those off because he was like the art girl. He was holding up the art for the art auction.
All right, yeah.
In the Dueling Dealers shirt. So I was like, that's good. I actually. Oh, Kevin, he's here. All right, he's desperately growing out his beard.
Good luck, champ.
Oh man, but yes, Kevin, thank you for volunteering, and definitely, like Chris mentioned, I mean, it would be good to give Chris a break every now and again. This is a lot of work, so every first Thursday of the month, we do encourage people to step up and sit in with me and do 10 picks. It's not a lot, but So we've got the next month lined up for October. So November, December, they're open. Feel free to let me know now. I'll put you on the schedule if you want to do one of these with me. So, Chris, as always, it's an absolute pleasure to hang out with you. And,
Good time, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Speak to you soon.
Yep. Oh, I turned him off before he said thank you. So it is a lot of art to look through, Larry. I completely agree. It's a lot of work. It's terrible too, because I never really get to look at everything. You know, I wish I had the time to do that. But yeah, Larry, if you want to do it again, if you're up for November, let me know. I'll definitely put you in there for that. Okay. So, well, I'm saying Larry is now saying he will do November. So I'm going to update my calendar and put Larry on the November slot. So yeah, I think that wraps everything up. I have done everything that I wanted to do tonight. So, you know, thank you to Matt Ellis for the works of art. And you know, actually, by Sebastian, I know when I held it up, I held up the one, but I didn't realize it because I wasn't paying that close attention. There's that one with the Jack Nicholson, but was actually a second one. So 2 prelims to. I think Matt owns the final painting for this one. I think they're really huge. So definitely take a look at those in his gallery. But thank you for those. I mean, those are really hard to come by. You don't see them very often. And it was funny. He actually, to kind of protect it, he put it in a phone book. You know, it's Miami. It's Miami South. It was right in there to kind of pad it up. So now I've got a Miami Yellow Pages here, and it's, you know, that might come in handy sometime. So thank you everybody for tuning in as always. And I think where are we at? We're pretty much, I think, for the rest of yeah, I'm totally off. Remember, we got Labor Day on Monday, so I didn't schedule a show. We've got nothing going on this weekend, so I've got 4 days off in a row. But next Tuesday, I will have the Heritage Preview Show at 7:30, and then collector James Henry on at 9. So I'm looking forward to doing that with James. James is an old friend. We've known each other for quite a while. He ran the Columbus show for a very long time. They advertised on CAF when he was the owner of it, and he's got a really great collection. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him for a couple hours and talking about his time in the hobby, and definitely getting to look at some of the pieces in his artwork that he picks that he thinks are most important to talk about. So enjoy your weekend, everybody, and I'll be hanging out with you the day after Labor Day. So next